Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the South Asia Rainbow Six Siege Console Community Cup. Here with the host Blackjack and Bullet the Crazy Gamer, and we are here for, well, it is time for the big one. It is the big main event, the big cookie, as they say, of the tournament, and that is, of course, going to be the grand finals. It's a BO3, folks, and it's going to be a grudge match to boot. HMS will be taking on TMC yet again in a BO3 finals to take the top spot. Of course, all the credits, all the marbles, all the bragging rights, it's all at stake here.
Yep.
We'll see who wins, of course, when we go into the match. We're just getting everything set up and ready before that. But before we do, Bullet, how are we feeling on this very pleasant night tonight?
Of course, we are feeling pumped up. We are feeling all very, very excited. Of course, like, thanks to everyone who has made this possible. Thanks to every team out there who took their times to, do registration in the short term. But before that, folks, I'm very much happy to say that we are about to get in the match lobby because everybody has joined. We thought for a second, like we did, we'll have a long pre-show before the match starts. We do have a little of our new bracket segment that we're gonna go and explain. But for now, folks, we'll be jumping straight into the game and discussing about like what's going to be the strategy, because let me tell you, folks, the first map which is going to be there, okay, I forgot to change the map, somebody sorry. The first map is going to be the map of Villa, where the side of HMS is going to attack. The second map is also going to be the side of Theme Park, where also HMS is going to attack. So जो दोनों के starting के दो maps होने वाले हैं, वहाँ पे HMS attack करने वाली है. Only जो हमारा decider map है वहाँ शेले, वहाँ पे TMC attack करने वाली है. So that's going to be interesting one.
That it will be, I do feel like. And of course, since this is a grudge match, we do have a few things to sort of go over and talk about before we continue into this overall endeavor, I should say. And that is, of course, that grudge match from before between these two teams. It took place with TMC attacking on maps 1 and 2, actually, but HMS were the ones to win on map 3. They were the ones who went attack first on the third map of Villa as well. So we're starting on the very same map that these two teams left off on, with HMS attacking. So already they have that initial pick sort of advantage that they had. Not advantage, Villa is a defender side of map, but I'm trying to say here is that initially, right, HMS on the attack the other day seemed really strong. And when they started attack on Villa, they went 4-2 up against TMC, which is a big thing, especially in map 3, where TMC were already 1-1 up. They had taken the second map, Chalet, after an absolutely intense struggle. Actually, HMS had taken map 2. TMC had taken map 1 relatively quickly, actually. It was, a 7-3 or 7-2, I believe, on Oregon. And then HMS had to struggle on map 2, only to bring it back and win pretty much coasting to the finish line on the third map. And that third map is our first map tonight. So TMC definitely will want to watch out. And we do hope that for their own sakes, they've been practicing, they've been putting in the hours behind the scenes. There have been a couple days since that fateful match, and they've had another whole game, the lower bracket finals, to prepare as well. So they've definitely had time to get, ready, get set to go. And on the other hand, HMS, they've had their time to get their strat books updated. So with that, folks, we're not going to waste any more time. Let's get into it. Match number grand finals. That's not a number, but you get the point. And map number 1. Let's get into the ban phase.
I mean, like, बहुत honestly बोलूँगा. We did had some issue, folks, regarding all of that stuff, but server issues and all of that stuff, but we have sorted it out. I'm happy to share that all of the teams are going to be playing in the grand finale. Of course, जो यहाँ पे पहला ban हमें देखने को मिलने वाला है from the side of TMC is going to be Nomad, and we for a fact that we know how Nomad is such a flank anti-operator when it comes down with her air jabs and stuff. The second attacker to get banned is going to be Chackle, coming in from the side of HMS.
So Thatcher will be remaining in play.
Yeah.
That is definitely a couple of interesting bans there, but it makes sense. Villa is a map where, flanks and late sort of, plays, backstabs, so on and so forth, they make up a majority of that end round. And Nomad can shut that down very, very effectively with minimal effort as well. So this will make the Nomad ban will make attackers exert a lot more effort, put a lot more effort into shutting down those flanks. Invest in claymores, maybe bring a Gridlock who, while having a kit that's kind of similar to Nomad, and that castle ban is very interesting. We'll get to that in a bit. But that, Gridlock works similar-ish to Nomad, but she needs a bit more effort. She's slightly slower, of course. Her kit overall might not be the best, so really puts everything into consideration. Kapkan, I mean, let's be real here. No surprise right there that the Kapkan has been banned. And finally, of course, the Castle ban. That is interesting. Castle on this map has seen a fair bit of play, especially on second floor trophy statuary and first floor dining and kitchen. So those parts of the map are for sure, areas where Castle has, like Castle strats are there. They have been for a while now. Castle has been pretty important for reconstruction, for barricades. I mean, his whole gadget is so with that said, we're going to be moving into round number 1. Second floor aviator and games room is going to be the site of choice.
Cool. Let's see what's gonna be the usual strategy. Yeah, sorry.
Is NX Pixel playing a
10
recruit?
seconds to insertion.
Interesting.
5 seconds left before insertion.
And
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
Attackers are
even
moving
pick
out to
mute
locate
in
a
the
bomb
polling
and
settings?
defuse it.
So, mute, yeah. Recruit. Now, I'm not sure about that.
okay. Let's proceed on for now. देख सकते हैं हमारा जो attacking team हमें HMS की तरफ से देखने को मिलने वाली है. I was already trying to push on from the side of Astronomy. Ash has already taken up the grapple in, coming in from the Astronomy window. And talking about the side of Lion, he also gonna grapple on toward the side of Runes area. So yeah, we see 2 attackers pushing from the backside, which is a very good approach. And other 2 attackers also trying to put and make pressure from the other entry points. Screw Rahman's gonna take a run out, I suppose, and yes, he was ready for it. Oh boy, Satyanan definitely caught, didn't expect it. He was just ready. Now you gotta do the barricade up. One attacker is also coming in to take the refrag up there. Ashkur Rahman almost getting caught out. Goes for the pre-fire, but Aliva, Gridlock's gonna take care of the side of the King Bomb. Minion, Chippy Chip coming with the second frag.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Bodies dropping down pretty quick after Satyanan's getting wiped off.
Yeah, that first kill onto the ace was good and still is good because that means Vault will remain unbreached. Such an important and vital part of Aviator Games Room to keep close. So that's a good kill. Unfortunately, they traded 2 defender bodies. The Doc more directly, of course, but King Bob's Tachanka falling by the wayside as well. But here's a fire back. Godzilla will go down as Shadid comes around. That's her Frost taking 1, but Mars goes down. Chippy Chip with yet another kill. The Gridlock's position now is known on that Fox entry window. but nobody can really do much about it. It's all down to the 3v2. NXBXL and Shadid are the only defenders standing. 65 seconds on the clock. They have to make sure that they do not fall. Otherwise, the first round will go to the attackers. Of course, here come the Goyo Vulcans being used up, excuse me,
Attackers
to cause a bit of disruption in this attacker flow. Just slow things down a little bit. Give these two defenders time to regroup, which they oh so desperately need.
Yup. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Shahid is trying to make up to those angles, trying to suppress the attack. Finds the head, gets the shot, neat shot coming inside, finds another one, triple kill coming in from the side of Frost, and this is going to be really, really bad to the side of HMS, but for now, Chippy Chip is going to be there, takes the frag, now it's going to be a 1v1, diffusers completely dropped out, oh, Flash himself, definitely थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे एक जो pressure है वो बनते हुए नजर आएगी line के head के ऊपर, but for now, he doesn't know where the last defender is, and Nabil will be right there. Swings it up, and of course, it was a 3v2 scenario. The Frost just handed the side of HMS in less than what? In quick seconds, in quick fraction of seconds. They had this round in the bag, from what I believe, but Nabil will be right there to, just get on with it. We see a unfortunate disconnection coming in, and we might see a timeout, I believe.
Timeout should be taken, I do believe. Disconnection coming in from NXBXL, the player who had played the recruit in that round. Seems like no pause was taken, unfortunately. Right there.
Need to locate and defuse as many
rehost.
bombs
Yeah,
as they
I
can.
guess, yeah. Okay, we are gonna have to go for a rehost, unfortunately, folks. Hopefully, it's not gonna take too long, as it were. But you know how it is. This is we stressed this before. This is South Asia. Nothing is too particularly surprising to us anymore. But there are a couple things to just make note of. That is to say that since this is, after all, a rehost that was called for after the round began, the site and the operators picked should remain the same according to the Pro League plays. Had the rehost been requested in the prep phase, of course, things not the pick phase, then things could have been different.
It was
but-
requested in the preface. Let me just
Oh,
confirm.
okay.
Yeah, it was.
Then in that case they can change
Yeah.
up sites, whatever. Then there's no rules for that. It's
Yeah.
just pick whatever. But with that said, we're just getting the lobby set up and ready. Only one round has happened, mind you, and that's on like Aviator Games Room. and the attackers won
I told you
anyway.
something before we.
He
proceed.
did, yeah. So for those who might not get it, Bullet actually pointed out that this could be an
Let's
occurrence
check the
today.
brackets. How about we take the
Yeah.
brackets? We do have.
So yeah, there we go.
yeah.
We have this new bracket screen, folks. So
yeah.
kind of went away very quickly.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, overall, the brackets, of course, I saw a glimpse of them there. It was a double elimination tournament that we have been through so far, specifically, an upper bracket and lower bracket system, as is to be expected. And after a lot of very quick early matches, we started really hitting our stride, I would say, around lower bracket round 2, by which time a lot of the earlier teams have been filtered out, and we had started seeing the real, shall we say, diamonds in the rough for this console community cup.
Yeah.
And with all that said, you can see, of course, what that has led to. HMS and TMC in the grand finals. They fought before, and they're fighting here again. We're just waiting to see on how far either team can take it. So, about that first round, right? That first round was interesting to me because HMS showed that attacking prowess, or part of that attacking prowess, that they had in the upper bracket final that they played against TMC. And when they went to the 3v2, it did seem like, yeah, HMS is probably going to walk away with this round. Well, as it turns out, that's not quite how that happened. And that's purely because I will say that HMS, what they really could have done is maybe, held back a little bit, not expose themselves to direct angles and lines of sight like they did, especially on that red carpet landing door. There were two attackers there who could have been swung on had the Frost decided to do so, and she did. And, well, we saw exactly how that turned out. It went from a 3v2 to a 1v2 very quickly, and there was only so much that Trixt playing the line could do in that regard. So with that said, what are the lessons that the side of HMS can learn from round number 1? Well, for one, don't get clumped up on one part of the map too much. And when you're repelling and throwing out a drone, even if you're aware of a jump out or you're expecting it, or maybe you threw the drone to bait it, it doesn't necessarily guarantee a win all the time, as our Doc player showed, of course. With all that out of the way, though, we're just waiting on the players to get back in. As you can see, Bullet has also, gone to take care of something. So it's just me for the time being, folks. Howdy, how you doing? Hope you're having a great night, a great evening, night, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this from, of course.
I mean, I just
And
I just took a small, you know what I mean. So yes, folks, we have I would suppose the players coming in. Yes, it was a small break. I mean, like no worries. But for now, yes, we are waiting for the last players from both sides. We are waiting for the last guy from the side of Team HMS, and we're also waiting for the last guy from the side of Team what do you call is TMC.
TMC.
So first round was going into favor of Furman. Yes, we have around history, just making sure. So yeah, coming back to the folks, coming back to the discussion.
Wait. Yeah, TMC won the
Orange.
first round, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, like,
No, it's just I saw my notes. I was like, wait, is that my don't like the reason I say that, folks? You will not want to see my handwriting. My
Mhm.
handwriting is one of the worst I think I've seen, and I'm the one saying it. I'm the one writing it.
I mean, like, it's fine on how the things are coming, and we have. I mean, like, I can give a small teaser for the second season. We are already in talks with Ubisoft for a bigger prize pool of our 6 credits, and also we are in talks with a very leading TO who has also been very famous for doing Siege PC tournaments. So you know what I mean. No names, please, Blackjack. No names. No guessing.
Oh
but
no,
just
don't worry,
dropping
don't
a
worry.
teaser. Yeah.
Yeah, don't you worry. My lips are sealed about all of that. I will be just waiting in the wings to get my chance at casting Rainbow Six again. That's really all I want. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, coming back to the fact that yes, guys, we are again waiting in for the players to join in. But yes, folks, let me remind you, जो भी हमारे पास यहाँ पे मैप्स होने वाले TMC जो है उनके तरफ से विला का पिक हमें देखने को मिला था. Just like take my notepad over here. Yeah, मेरे को बार ऐसा पढ़ना पड़ा. Never mind. HMS की अगर हम बात करें तो उनके तरफ से हमें थीम पार्क देखने को मिल जाता है. So yup. All of that stuff is getting into talks, but what do you feel about Blackjack? No, मैंने आपसे बहुत बार ये सवाल पूछा है कि like what do you feel about the console plays, what do you feel about the overall game coming in? So what do you think कि कहाँ तक हम इस कम्युनिटी कप्स कंट्रोल सीरीज भी अगर हम लोग लाते हैं तो ओके नाउ माइंड तो कहाँ तक चीजें जा सकती है like in the overall community? Do you think that compared to the PC scene, yeah, that would be very unfair because PC scene में already इतने सारे tournaments हो रहे हैं, सब कुछ हो रहा है. And what do you think for the fact that कि हम किस level पे जा सकते हैं with the PC? Because I have told you, like, we have a great player base. The only thing is missing that competitive spirits, lack of tournaments and all. वो एक कि competitive में कैसे चीज़ें follow up होती है, competitive में किस तरीके से चीज़ें workout होती है, rules वगैरह क्या होते हैं, वो एक प्रो लीग वाली जो एक माइंडसेट है वो डेफिनेटली एब्सेंट है प्लेयर्स के माइंड से. द मोर ऑफ देम लाइक प्लेइंग रैंक्स एंड स्टफ and everything like that. But what do you think about that overall?
See, overall, there are a few, like, I have voiced, particular issues I've had with, like, say, a team's strategies or what they've done and not done in a given map, right? But those are in the moment situations. Those are mistakes that can be worked on and gotten over time. I mean, we all start somewhere, right? And I think we should all remember that when looking at console versus PC, because like you said, console players in our region do not have anywhere near the same level of competitive exposure as the PC players do. Right now, of course, our PC scene, for those who keep up with the esports of Rainbow Six, will know that players from our region have been playing against other Asian teams in the last chance qualifiers for the major, so on and so forth. There's a whole like path open to those players. Now, I'm not saying that console can go that far, given that there really isn't a global console scene in the same way for Rainbow Six, right? But if we were to limit it just to our region, right, our group known as South Asia, I do feel like, given enough time, enough, improvement and enough competitive exposure to these players, they like it could grow relatively big. I will say, maybe SA nationals level even to some at some point. It'll just take time. It'll take investment and effort as well, not just from, of course, TOs and so on and so forth, but also from the players, right? Don't get me wrong, we're seeing a relatively good level of play, especially between TMC and HMS. I would say HMS more so than TMC, even to some extent, but the improvement needs to be there, and the drive to improve needs to be there as well, because you can't just do the same thing, stagnate, and then expect that to just work out, right? There has to be improvement. You have to keep, you know, getting better, keep,
Yeah.
doing more, so to speak. And it'll get to a point where you'll find yourself so far ahead of where you already are that when you look back, you'll think, yeah, wow, I used to play like that at some point. I used to be like that.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, like, that's something even I think when I look back at how I used to play when I began Rainbow Six in year 2, and now here in year 8, yeah, I'm still a scrub, but at least I know where my crosshair is supposed to go, right? So that's what I'm saying. Improvement will always be there. And as far as the players go, I've said this before. I would love to see a bit more of the common PC strats be
Yeah.
adapted, maybe even improvised, depending on what is required for console. After all, on console, you can't necessarily take long range gunfights the same way
It's
that you
hard.
can on
Yeah.
PC, right? It's much more difficult. Short range is a lot better on console, right? That's where a lot of the engagements happen. So maybe take a strat that works on PC, adapt it for console, right? Change things up. Maybe that long line of sight doesn't need to be open.
Yeah.
You open a rotate instead between two rooms that lets you flank or circle around and take a shorter gunfight, so on and so forth. Like, you see what I'm saying here, right, Bullet?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Adaptation, and improvisation, or as the meme says, improvise, adapt, overcome. I had to get that one in there.
Oof. I mean, like, see, folks, yes, we are still waiting for the last guy to join in. So, in the meanwhile, folks, why not we do take a break? I feel, yes, there is some sort of a game issue that needs to be addressed from the side of HMS. So, we'll be taking a small break. I'll be right back.
I think we are live with the game. We should be, folks. So let us get back into the match, folks. Yes, we are back. Took a little moment to get the rehost done and dusted, but we are now into the game itself, or should I say back into the game itself. Round one had happened. TMC, aka the orange team, had taken that round, putting themselves on the board first, versus, of course, our blue team attackers, aka HMS. Took a while for the reels to happen, but here we are, and we are now heading into round number two on second
Defenders,
floor
protect your
trophy
bombs from
and
being defused
statuary
by
room
attackers.
to start us, or should I say to restart us off for this endeavor. Although, one thing I will say, we didn't actually do team introductions in the first round. I just remembered. So, folks, with that said, let's have a look at the 10 players who are playing in the lobby for us tonight. From the side of the attacking blue team, I should say, HMS, we have Sylvexior, Chippy Chip, Godzilla, Trix, and Satyanand1. And from the side of the orange team, aka TMC, we have King Bob Minion, Shadid 10, Ashika Rahman, Super Mars, and NXBXL. That we are now going into the second round of this endeavor, and is this a run out from Ashika Rahman? It does seem like they have prepped to do so, but has anyone spawned on this side of the map? I don't think anyone is spawning or moving towards driveway, which means that the dock will simply have to pull back and try their luck elsewhere.
Sorry for the late throw pickup. I was just cleaning up whole bottle of water. Yeah, again the same thing, folks. Kuch technical issues and kuch technical pauses from both teams. We're trying to sort the things off. Abhi ke liye we are just ready and just ready to roll for this grand finale. Coming back to the same point again. Yes, हमें round number 1 देखने को मिला था blackjack. That was a little bit of throw, a little bit of choke coming in from the side of HMS. I won't mince my words. यहाँ पे दो ही खिलाड़ी एक ही डोरवे से पुश इन करते नजर आए. फर्स्ट का वहाँ पे शहीद के द्वारा हमें इजी किल आता हुआ नजर आया. अभी के लिए yes, again we see Satyanand doing the same thing. I feel like yes, he's playing the side of Twitch, and I don't know why my controller is not using the X input, but there you go. There's also going to be a push coming in from the side of Toon's area, from the side of Sheriff Steer, and from the side of Ash, and there's going to be one defender playing on the main stairs, I feel.
That defender of main stairs is going to have to be careful, but ooh, Sylvexior catches the attempted kill. That was Ashika Rahman coming in to take, the Ash down. Trix definitely got to be thankful to the Gridlock for that save. Sylvexior keeping their eyes and their fingers on the trigger. But with that said, Ashika Rahman, a dangerous player taken off the board early in this particular round, means that a lot of the map has been cleared up, given that that dock is one of the ones of the defenders, or I should say of TMC, that moves around the most. Meanwhile, 2 more bodies have fallen. XBXL goes down, so does Super Mars, but 1 kill is taken back in return, but Shadid will now be the only one doing that work. And they are the last one left standing. 3v2, double kill to the Frost. They now have to try and get more as Trix confirms onto King Bob. The Iana, unaware of where Shadid was, as they push out into the hallway, trying to get in through Fox entry. But wait a minute, they hear something on the other side. Shadid slowly walking in to sight into Deer. It hasn't been seen yet. This Frost is moving around, almost unencumbered right now by anything that these attackers have to do or say. Shots fired. That's probably from Master Sarah. Shadid is just walking away. Sees the Ash. Knows full well that someone's there now.
Yep.
And this could be potentially another kill. These 2 attackers are too far away from each other.
15
And
seconds.
is closing in. Oh! Barely loses against the G36. Trix will take that kill and keep HMS from losing the round pretty much by the skin of their teeth. That puts HMS on the board for their first round. Although I will say, after putting it down to a 1v4, effectively speaking, they very nearly lost it.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, that's the same thing. TMC काफी हद तक उनके जितने भी खिलाड़ी एक थोड़ा सा अग्रेसिव खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, थोड़ा से वो एडवांसमेंट ओपी करते नजर आ रहे हैं, वो eventually got out Hoare from the side of HMS. So I'm not like praising the one side and trying to be
Attackers
biased,
need to
but
locate
here's the
and
thing.
defuse as
जितने
many
भी
bombs
हमने
as they can.
kills नजर आए हैं from the side of HMS, वो इसलिए नजर आए complete कहीं ना TMC थोड़ी सी एकदम थोड़ी सी like 5%. वो over aggressive nature उनका दिखता हुआ नजर आ रहा है. कि हमने round number 1 में अशकुर रहमान का वो रन आउट देखा था 9 बॉल के विंडो से, और भी कई सारे एग्जांपल्स अगर हम पिछले 2 राउंड्स में देखें तो. बट फॉर नाउ शहीद जिस तरह से बार-बार अकेले बच रहे हैं, उस चीज़ पे कहीं ना कहीं टीएमसी को ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. लाइक ओवरऑल पे यू हैव टू कीप मेंटेन द बॉडी एडवांटेज. यू गोटा फाइंड दोस ट्रेड्स हैपनिंग, फ्रैग ट्रेड हैपनिंग रियल क्विक. इफ नॉट अटैक्स जो हमें राउंड नंबर 2 में देखने को मिला, दैट इज much improved what we saw from the side of round number 1, from the side of HMS.
Overall, yes, the end of round execution, of course, still left quite a bit to be desired, but of course we've talked about that a lot already. So let's see if they improve going forward into this round. Super Mario's all right, having a little bit of a, turntables inside of AVD Games. The site is, I do believe, the same trophy statuary. Yes, it is. So interesting from TMC that they have decided to double down on the site. Something tells me they feel confident about going back to that particular part of the map, which of course is a nice thing to be. Confidence in your site defense is good. Just make sure that you have something to actually back it up with. The Solus pick from NXBXL should help them with hiding their defender positions and denying attacker utility quite a bit. And King Bob bringing in the Wamai to deal with projectiles, also a good switch. Things that you expect to see almost from the competitor side of Rainbow Six. But the question is, when will the kills start? Where will the aggression come from? And it seems it's going to be a Claymore kill. That's the Thunderbird that we were following for so long, who got caught. And Chippy Chip, was that a bait with the IQ? Because the IQ would know that there's a Solus running around the map. That could have possibly been. And whether or not it was, we won't know for now. But there goes the Doc. Ashikut to fall. And with 3 kills to Chippy Chip, suddenly things are looking so much worse for the Defenders.
Again, this is the same thing we were just talking about. The little bit of that over aggressiveness is completely, getting the price paid from the side of the TMC. There you go, one by one. A Chippy Chip ace coming in from the side of IQ. Brilliantly done. And of course, folks, it's going to be ace coming in. But I eventually thought the Claymore kill was from the other guy from the side of HMS. But that was in the end from the side of Chippy Chip as for now. That was nice. That was so clean, not gonna lie. The attacks are looking very much confident compared to round number 1.
Absolutely. Even against the last round, this round looked a lot cleaner. The side of HMS seemed to fully grasp what they needed to do, where they needed to enter from, where their potential advantages were by taking control of which parts of the map. And even then, they didn't really need to do too much from map control. Chippy Chip just decided, you know what, I'll take care of everything, guys. Don't worry. This round's on me. You guys can relax. Got an ace, and here we are. Looking at the defender side, there is an interesting pickup here. A couple of attackers, defenders, that are worth mentioning. The Bandit for anti-breach utility. Of course, the Mute can do something similar, but the Mute will be more dedicated to intel denial, so on and so forth. And on the other side, the Rook from King Bob Minion, going back to a very OG classic of the game. As Rook, of course, doesn't see too much play unless a player isn't feeling too well, then they can depend on the old Rook. Or a Rook, of course, given that their plates, the Rook plate, so to speak, give you a withstand these days as well, and a guaranteed DBNO to use that withstand in. That, of course, means that Rook has become a lot more suited for competitive than he used to be before. So the Rook pick should come into play, hopefully. But with that said, I do see a Brava as well from Selvexior. Now that's a pick that I do want to have my eyes on, because Brava can cause a lot of havoc, even with the very few electrically disposed defenders that are in the lobby right now. Even those 3 gadgets can be taken over by Brava, which would make for some very interesting interactions.
Let's see for now. Yes, we might not see that kind of piece going from the side of TMC, but now they know for a fact that repayment is definitely getting done from the side of HMS. But the last two rounds, definitely compared to the first one we saw from the side of HMS, much improved and much well done. For the time being now, we see a push coming in from the side of the backside, from the side of Shinomi's Stairs. Satyanan once again rappelling in from the side of the 90 hallway, doing an upside down rappel. There's the same kind of strategy coming in from Satyanan for the past 2-3 rounds, I believe. And Chippy Chip going for the line U1D. I guess one guy's already rolled in for the side of Vomai, I believe. Yes, it's going to be Shahid. Finds the head. Takes the shot. A clean shot coming in from the side of Shahid. Vomai 1.5x for the win. But yes, all of the attackers will be no longer have the advantage of, that line drones, the landability coming in. Satyanan going for the walls, trying to open up the breach wall on his particular angle. But he knows for the fact that there's going to be someone, probably Mute, will take another peek. But Supermod gets another one. Godzilla goes down. It's going to be a 2v5 coming in real quick. Satyanan is going to be, might be the last one surviving, because we already see a gunfight going in from the side of Twitch and Nabil. But no, Nabil will take out the side of Satyanan. There's going to be Tricks to be left out in a 1v4 scenario. And Kigma Medium in the wild is going to end the round with the last kill. 2-2 with the scoreline. Yes, a nail biting. In Hindi, we call it this a kaatu ke takkar. Yeah.
Well, with all that said, round 5 is going to be in play at 2-2. So early on, both teams really fighting for control as we move to the first floor dining and kitchen site, of course. And I will say, though, that I think, so this is something that I just sort of noticed, having the ace already be repelling on 90 window isn't exactly a bad thing, of course. You want the breach done as soon as possible, but I feel like, letting the ace play with the rest of the team on roam clear would probably lend them better, because the AK is an extremely powerful gun, and to have the AK be caged off behind admittedly required utility, but even then utility that can come into use later in the round, because you need to clear everything first, right? You need to clear trophy, statuary, the landing area, 90 hallway itself, make sure you're not going to get jumped out on, and then you go for the breach. There's a lot to do and a lot of defender removal involved that the AK can be very, very good at. So actually involving Satyanan, who has been playing the ace for the Aviator Games rounds, round 1 and 4, into the actual roam clear and implementing that player, and not just leaving them by the wayside to wait for the breach, would probably have served them a lot better in those rounds. They were playing effectively a 4v5 because the ace simply was not, implemented into other parts of the map where they could have been more useful as compared to having to just be on repel. But of course, that's merely a suggestion. Then the site isn't actually kitchen dining, folks. It is library and living room, Villa's least played site, and that's by far.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what they have in mind, but probably some strategies which might HMS not expect, but for time being now, we see King Mominium playing on the pantry stairs. Godzilla also trying to make up the push from the side of King Studio. Askur Rahman taking some damage, going for the stem. Main hallway. It's gonna be an angle coming in from the window. Takes what? He drops Tricks. But it's gonna be the side of Chippy Chip to confirm the Askur Rahman with the headshot. A 4v4 coming in. Trades are happening, and so quick, so neat from both sides. But for now, Solace on the side of Superman, gonna give her the pings for the side of the Claymore, for the side of any kind of electronic devices which are getting used from the side of attacker. Chippy Chip is going for Thatcher Peak. They might want to play the classic strat opening this main hallway, which connects to the site, which connects to the bomb site, which they want to try upon to open this up. But yes, as Trix is out, I don't see any secondary breach charges. Of course, because it's not there in the loadout by default. Yeah.
It's some of these operators do have secondary breaches. I think the Brava does, though I might be wrong on that front. No, actually, Brava I think has smoke grenades and Claymore. So none of these operators even have secondary heartbeat charges to begin with. A little unfortunate for the attackers right now, especially because they lost Ace, right? Their only breacher and their pretty much guaranteed breach plan in that round, the Thatcher Ace combo. But Chippy Chip is not to be deterred. Finds King Bob Minion. That's going to be another defender down. The Rock and Duck, the Dock and Rook, the French combo has been taken care of. I replaced the first letters of both of their names. Yes. In the meanwhile, Iana, I do not like that attempted entry from Godzilla. Diffuser player as well to play solo on entry like that on the side door where you know someone's waiting for you. That was just not the right move, and the team will fall by the wayside. Costly mistake from Godzilla, and Chippy Chip all alone can only do so much. Wow. All right.
I feel like they lost the round when they lost Ace, I believe.
Even then, even without the ace, entry could have been possible, but they needed to, keep their wits about them and not just, solo push into sight with the diffuser.
But for now, folks, yes, it's going to be a 3-2 score coming in. We're going around missing. That's going to be the last defensive round and the last attacking round from both sides. And after that, the swap will be made according to the Pro League rules. But take a look at the frags coming in. We saw an ace in the round number 3, I believe, from the side of Chippy Chip. And that's going to be, the guy is going to be on 7 kills. Tricks coming in with 3. Selvia doing the job with 2. Satanan hasn't opened his account yet. But for now, if we talk about the side of TMC, everybody's trying to do their own part with the frag, but of course these are just skill number. But if individually, if I just talk about the side of TMC, we see a lot of work being done from the side of Ashkur. I see a lot of work being done from the Super Mars by taking some of these operators, which they are able to create an impact on the round. But if we talk about the same thing for the side of HMS, I don't believe, apart from Chippy Chip, apart from the side of Selvixor, anybody's is able to create some sort of impact when they are going for those individual plays. So they gotta be very specific on how they wanna push up upon, play on the side of defense when they go, when the attacking defense swap is being done. Then they have to really focus upon how they wanna just don't let the side of TMC to get away with those back-to-back wins in their favor.
I mean, for now, what HMS really needs to focus on is, again, reeling themselves in. They're just not doing enough together as a team. They're doing too much solo. They're not, pushing together, not doing things together. Again, this time with the Solus in play, any claymores will be called out, and runouts, of course, will be made with an educated guess or even full knowledge of where things are. As Ashika takes a little bit of damage, but of course they're at the dock. They can heal that back up in no time. So no real harm done for the time being. Shadid's taking damage as well. Things are happening across the map, it seems. And little bits and pieces of damage are being done to defenders, but not a whole lot. Selvexter as well taking damage. That seemed like a play from Nabul, or NXBXL, excuse me, that I've been calling that player for so long. Throughout this tournament, I've called them NXBXL. But regardless, Super Mars trying to find some sort of gadgetry that can give them information. Shadid, that's a grenade, I do feel like, that did that damage. Shadid is very low as well. Gotta be careful where you step from here on out. But the dock is there. The heal is there as well. Minute 30, and still no body has fallen.
Yep, for now, 1 minute push on the left out. Coming in from the side of Classical. Howler Shkurma trying to hold up a double angle, going for a spray, misses out the head. Probably is going to be Satyanand, I believe, again, right on the side of Zero, but it's going to be a kill. Coming in back. Nabil goes for a second, goes to Trickstar. It's going to be a 3v3 scenario, but there it goes. King Boy Monian coming up. Silvester will be nikaling. It's going to be a 2v3 for the situation. Being Chippy Chip will also get down from the side of Super Mars. It's going to be a C4 popping off, but Satyanand left out in a 1v3 scenario. Trying to go for the extra side raffle, trying to raffle in. जो हमें window देखने को मिल जाती है, which connects to the side of astronomy, and as he has fired bullets, as he has destroyed the barricade, everybody knows for a fact that the audio queue has come in कि वो कहीं ना कहीं इसी तरफ पे खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं. So yeah, it's gonna be really hard to do a 1v3 scenario, but yes, Nabi is also very low in HP. The other two guys are completely healthy in terms of the HP, and it's gonna be a 4-2, and of course with a little bit of spice here, and of course with the teabags.
I mean, those are to be expected. It is competitive gameplay after all. If a little bit of, banter and trash talking isn't present, is it really competitive? Are you really competing if you're not also, having a psychological warfare with your opponents? With that said, it is the second half, folks. 4-2 to TMC, as they are looking pretty strong here on Villa with 4-2 split which of course puts them on a pretty good
Defenders,
advantage.
protect your
Yeah.
bombs from being defused
But
by attackers.
the question is, now that they're on the attacking side, can they really, or how far can they keep up that momentum and advantage? For Villa is known for big momentum shifts in like 1 or 2 rounds. It's happened before multiple times, internationally, domestically, it's happened everywhere. So right now, this should make for an interesting second half, I feel like, because HMS's defense also, we've seen it before, it is one to be, well, feared would probably be the right word here. They are very formidable on defense. They are pretty strong on the defensive side of things, and Villa being a defender side. Now, I mean, it's not even an even split for Villa. It is defender sided. There is no question about it.
Attackers are heading
So,
out to defuse a bomb.
can they make it a 4-4? Can they make it a 6-4? Potentially 7-4? Maybe not 7-4, but they could try to.
I see what's going on in your mind, Isaac. I see what you're trying to say. Huh? I see. We know for
Maybe.
a
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows exactly. But for now, हम देख सकते हैं 3-4 attackers Runes की तरफ से push करने के जो उनकी प्रयास चलने के लिए अभी के लिए नजर आने वाले हैं. But we also see some vertical angles खोले जा रहे हैं पे games उनके द्वारा जो वहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं connect करता है towards the main stairs angle Elixir के द्वारा. But for now, everybody from the side of attackers gonna just go for the drones. Collect करेंगे. But there's gonna be actually two players playing out of the side. 3 players actually playing out of the side. Trix is trying to hold the main stairs. वहाँ पे 90 हॉल पे चिप देखने को मिल जाते हैं. And सत्यानंद भी अभी भी 90 हॉल पे खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं. So this is interesting. Chip, sorry, yeah.
The Nook, First Lord. This is going to make for some interesting interactions right now, but Shadid gets the first pick, and that's Godzilla off the board. 1 and 6 down. Shadid with another Trickst will fall. And this is all down, or going downhill, I should say. But those 2 kills could potentially swing things around. Sylvester and Chippy Chip firing back, only for NXPXL to fall. Chippy Chip takes the bites the dust. Excuse me, but wait a minute. Why are you solo pushing it aside like that? Again, if you're going to execute on site, do it together as a team, not solo, and then put your team at a disadvantage. At the very least, the Nook is still alive with the diffuser. King Bob can still make an effective play, clear out the site, and push in. Ashika Rahman as well on the Twitch. Wait, King Bob's going for the plant.
Oh,
Where is this? This is by the bomb? Inside the site. Satya wants to deny this. Ashikur will find Selvexir actually. And it's all about Satyanand who goes down to Ashikur.
Okay.
Who was holding across from Vault. Well played there. The plant went down. There was cover by the Twitch. Alright. When I saw King Bob going for the plant, I was like, wait, is there cover? Where are these 2 even? But they were in position. And they did well. TMC taking another round, I should say, away from HMS, putting them even more firmly into the blender. 2 rounds to win map 1, and there's a timeout. HMS desperately need this.
I mean, like, yeah, for the time being, जिस तरीके से overalls पे हमें score line देखने को मिल रही है 5-2. अब वहीं पे देखें तो कहीं ना कहीं अभी के लिए इस पूरे मैप की अगर हम बात करें, गॉडजिला और सत्यनंद का उतना ज़्यादा हमें कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं देखने को मिल रहा है. फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग, राउंड नंबर 1 और राउंड नंबर 3 में भी जो हमें प्लेस देखने को मिलते हैं चिप के द्वारा, सिलेक्शन द्वारा, वहीं पे लग रहा है उतना अभी तक वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर पाए 5-2 पे. बट फॉर नाउ, आई मीन लाइक, नबील, शाहिद, सुपरमास आर एबल टू जस्ट प्ले ऑन द सेम पेज. एक लेयर पे खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, एक फ्लो पे खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं. तो दे आर डूइंग अ वेरी वेरी गुड जॉब फॉर नाउ.
That they have been. Yeah. From the side of the orange team, from the side of Team C, things have been looking pretty good overall, I will say. There have been issues and mistakes in there, sure, but it never has been as bad as HMS, especially when it comes to on-site executes, or for instance in that last round. We didn't see too much of HMS's on-site defense, but I would hazard a guess that they were once again taking solo peeks and trying to just, catch their opponents off guard. TMC, unlike the last time these 2 played Villa, TMC is a lot more, or at least feels a lot more prepared this time. They know what to expect. They know which angles to peek, where to drone, what operators in some cases even to get, so as to make sure HMS is not allowed too much of an advantage and not allowed too much of too much room to
Attackers'
breathe,
objective is to
basically.
locate a
That's
bomb
one
and
thing that,
defuse it.
I did notice before as well. HMS loves having room to breathe. They love creating that as well. If you give them that, how should I put it, the opportunity to do so, they will steal rounds away from you. Even if you were originally going to win those rounds, you gave that chance to HMS, and suddenly you are guaranteed to lose those rounds. So mistakes cannot be made too much, so to speak. As in the meanwhile, it seems like there is a flash and entry attempt on study. No, there isn't. They're just clearing the way for their drones, getting information, and
Attackers have
then they
located
will
a bomb.
decide on how to execute.
Yeah, for now we can see Twitch doing his job. Yes, maybe यहाँ पे हमें कोना स्टेज देखने को मिल जाता है. Two of them definitely got destroyed while we were spectating him. But Trix is trying to hold up this angle, trying to push on to the study. He gets one. Boy, oh boy, that aggressive pick. There's gonna be two more of these attackers trying to push on from the side of X-Drune's area. Actually, there are three of them, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's actually two of them. Shahid also trying to play, trying to push on towards the side of the objective. But Rufus gets Trix individually. It's gonna be a 4v4. There's gonna be somebody from the side of defense playing on towards the side of landing. But Shahid is already inside sight. Where are the other attackers? Kickball Minium is down. Nabila does an unfortunate team kill. Satyanan gets the side of Kickball Minion one more time. It's gonna be a 4v2. Just two attackers left out. Suprema is trying to play from the side of the terrace area. जो यहाँ पे हमें window देखने को मिल जाता है. Nabil is doing the upside down rappel, which we saw from the side of Satyanan when their team was, attacking. So let's see. Oof.
Unfortunate, that team kill, especially, that's gonna sting, I should say. Shadid was already in the site, right? Diana could have applied a lot of pressure from inside. Fortunately, not to be. Shots are fired, and Supermars finds themselves on the floor and out of the round. It's a 1v4 now for NXBXL. This ace left alone on the window rappel. Once again, this AK could have been so useful on entry, but not to be. The question is, I probably didn't see it, but I don't think that PMC on this attack tried any kind of map clearance from the side of bedroom or, Oh, that's a nice peek on that window. Upside down rappel catches Satyanan. That is one down, puts it down to a 1v3. But the moment they go into this window, they are, well, for lack of a better term, dead. So this has to go down and into the first floor through library. Of course, position is still given away, and there's a prone peek, potentially with a shotgun from a smoke. There might just be. NXBXL got to be careful here. They don't know. Shots are fired, and it was actually the Jaeger Godzilla who finishes off the round. HMS finally fire back. Better late than never, making it 3-5.
A 5-3 coming in. Yes, for now we see one run finally getting in from the side of HMS into their favor. Trophy room is going to be the side for the round number 9. But for the time being, yes, we're seeing a lot of mistakes coming in from the side of HMS as well. For the time being, we saw a lot of mistakes getting done. Talking about what the point you made about the map clearance, I definitely don't think that somebody just went in for the map clearance. Two of these attackers was pushing in from the side of Astronomy, from the backside, and two of these, or three of these, I believe, the attackers, two of them went for a rotation on the main stairs, were pushing from the ruins area. So they had some kind of like, we tried to do, isolate and make a sandwich out of these defenders, but eventually HMS was just the better side, because we saw HMS doing the same kind of strat in their attacking rounds as well. So completely say, so for a fact, for the time being, they completely knew about the fact that there's gonna be someone, or some kind of attackers will try to push in from the side of ruins, then try to go for the main stairs rotation, then try to go for a red stair rotation. So this was bound to happen. They anticipated that, and they got away with the round win.
That they did. Again, it's not entirely unexpected that HMS rounds. That's the thing that I've been saying. That proxy lamp feels like it's a bit too far off to actually detect anything other than a standing operator. But regardless of that, what I was trying to say is that, Villa's defending. It is fully expected that HMS would win rounds. If anything, it is expected that they should be winning rounds with even more gusto here, because they need to do so. They need to equalize. They need to potentially make. The Excuse me, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they need to make this scoreline equal and then push for a win. Okay. Ashika with a double, covering for the fact that the Ash is caught in Frost
boy.
Trap. A triple now. All right, Ashika has awoken. Godzilla finally shuts down the Terminator running around the map. But there's NXBXL. And Super Mars has to be careful. The Frost is not the Frost. Excuse me. The Wamai is pretty close. But wait, King Bob Minion comes up. Astro at just the right time. Wamai missing the kill of the proxy alarm. NXPXL comes in, finds Godzilla, and that is another round going to TMC, folks. They are on map point, aka one round away from winning map 1 and pushing for a 1-0 advantage going into the second map.
Good round, dude. How just Ashko just got 2 kills back to back. That tells a lot about the overall, gunfight, gunpower, whatever you call it. जो capability हमें देखने को मिल रही है सुपरमार्स और अशको रहमान के द्वारा. Hats off to these guys. But yes, again the same thing. जो मैं round number 2 round number 3 के लिए मैं कह रहा था for the side of TMC जो वो पीक्स करते हुए नजर आए थे, वो कहीं ना कहीं करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं सेम चीज फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ HMS. जब आपका बंदा ट्रैप ऑन हो चुका है फ्रॉस्ट पे, one guy is enough to just go and take the angle and just confirm things up.
Ready for company.
All right, now map point, which means orange team, aka TMC, could just take this round, finish things off, and go into map number 2 with a 1-0 advantage. Of course, in map 2, should they get to map point again, aka 6 rounds first, then they will be on match and series point, as they will have 1-2-0. It is a best of 3, and there you go.
Attackers are moving
maps.
out to locate a
But
bomb and defuse it.
for now, where do HMS go from here? Where are they in this equation? That is what I want to know. So far, they have been almost worryingly absent in most rounds. They've simply not shown up in a lot of scenarios. Oh dear me, Shadida just walked by that closet window, and I did see a blue outline of a defender sitting in there, an HMS player, but never mind. Super Mars finds one, or excuse me, gets found by one. That's Strix to take that kill. That is your Amaru gone. Super Mars has been a thorn in the side of HMS for quite a while now. Almost as much as Shadid or Ashikar. And slightly less so than NXPXL, but hey, you can't always perform as equally as your peers. I should know. But for the time being, Gemini goes in, so does Shadid, already looking for a gunfight, but over-aggressive and unnecessary. That is what we call those types of plays. Shadid will fall, and that's now 5v3, make it 4v3, as King Bob fires back. Seafer comes out, but will miss. Trixt is on the floor, and Ashika takes that kill. 3v3 equalizer, and this round is about to heat up.
Definitely a heat up. But for now, it's going to be the side of, it's going to be a big feature. So let's get X1. The Skruma goes down to a 3v2 scenario. Again, it's going to be a match point. As you can see, folks, it's going to be a match point for the side of, than the side of TMC. If they win, they get a 1 match advantage. There's going to be somebody standing on front of the side of Detroit Stress. Chip gets one, Sanders gets another one. And finally, we see one more round coming into the favor of HMS. It's going to be a 6-4 scoreline, but damn, that was, of course, and much not needed aggression coming in from the side of TMC. If they had just played very cool, they have just played very calmly, definitely they have just done something better and put up this, just get away with this map in their favor. They
need more of what they already showed in round number 9, and then some, because the the mid round was not clean. They lost a couple of bodies to King Bob Minion, the King Bob Minion first on the Astro Stairs, an area of the map that should already be in their control, to be fair. And then from a different part of the map, which, well, again, map control is essential. I get it, your roamers will fall, roam clear might get the better of them, so on and so forth. It tends to happen. But the thing is, right, the moment a body goes down, or two, you need to regroup and re-evaluate where to sort of play from, where your advantages lie, and where you really need to reinforce yourself. Because as a team, the moment you start losing players, your biggest resource, right?
5
Guns,
seconds to
your
insertion.
biggest resource. The moment you start losing those things, you're really going to be in a position of discomfort. So regrouping, realizing where your strengths lie now, and adapting accordingly. Again, that word, adaptation. Adapting accordingly is going to be your best bet for the time being. With all that said, 6-4, the lead is still kind of strong, although losing a little bit of confidence, just as much, just as much as, we do with a lot of things that when they stop going our way. But for now, we have a quiet-ish round start. Gemini will find a defender, and that's something I'm taking a lot of damage, and Astro Stairs forced to fall back. Super Mars will take a little bit of map control away from the defense, potentially hunting for that Wamai, but Satyanan so far has managed to stay alive. If they can get back into the site, then the Thunderbirds bonus stations will be able to heal them back up to full, and that is something that I think Satyanan will want to do. Just got to be careful of where you step in case of attackers chasing you like that Nook is, and 2 very big kills. King Bob finds Chippy Chip, and NXBXL takes down something, and there goes Trickst as well. King Bob goes down, but that's 1 for the price of 3, and it's a 2v4. Defenders once again in a tricky spot.
Let's see. It's gonna be another team coming in as you are gonna do some lot of damage, but left out in 1v1 scenario. ज़्यादा अभी के लिए उम्मीदें मैं नहीं बना के बैठने वाला हूँ, but for now I know for a fact it's gonna be a 1v4. Gives the ADS, he gets 1, and the first map to go into the favor of the side of TMC is gonna be in a scoreline of 7-4. Just take a screenshot, but there you go. अभी के लिए बहुत से एक मैचअप हमें देखने को मिला. We're going to the caster screen, folks, in a while, of course. Yes, बहुत ही मैं बोलूँ उतना ज़्यादा close nail biting action नहीं देखने को मिला था, but for now, yes, we did had some pauses, we did had some individual breaks, but 7-4 scoreline, yes. फ्रैग के मामले में दोनों टीम्स एंड में जरूर अपने से तरफ से स्टेप अप करी, बट यस सत्यानंद और गॉजिला की तरफ से वैसा परफॉर्मेंस हमें नहीं देखने को मिला जैसा हमने एक्सपेक्ट किया था. बट फॉर नाउ फोक्स, विल टेकिंग अ शॉर्ट ब्रेक, मिलते हैं हम आपसे एक छोटे से ब्रेक के बाद विद द सेकंड मैप.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Rainbow Six Siege South Asia Console Community Cup. Here with your hosts Bullet and Blackjack, as we are once again back to bring you this match between TMC and HMS. It is map number 2 in the grand finale of BO3 between these two teams. And mind you, this is a grudge match as we get into the game itself, folks. Now, why is
This is
a grudge
more than a
match?
grudge match.
Oh, that it is. But let's explain why we call it that. These two teams have already fought before, folks. They actually went up against each other in the upper bracket final, where TMC lost. TMC had taken map number 1, and then HMS made a comeback 2-1 in the final score. So now TMC have a chance to bring it around and do this. Well, not do the same, but just make sure that they actually win this time after having won map 1. Why do I say that? Because TMC has won map 1. It is currently 1-0 to them, and the side of the team HMS, who are going to be attacking for Theme Park, is on the ropes. Bans are coming out, and once again, it is going to be Nomad and Jackal. The same things we said for Nomad can actually be put on for Theme Park. Theme Park is a very defender-sided map, and flanks, late plays, backstabs, so on and so forth, are very, very, very good on and very frequently used on this map. So Nomad ban actually, lets the defenders roam freely and do all that stuff without having to worry too much about flank watches. Kaid ban will be in play, which is interesting because Thatcher is available. They don't need to necessarily ban Kaid, but here we are. And finally, Castle will be banned on Theme Park. Again, much like Villa, there are some old strats that exist with this version of Theme Park that do involve Castle. But unless you're going to be playing first floor lab and storage, I highly doubt that Castle would have been that much of an important pick. So Kapkan or Azami, so on and so forth, could have been banned instead. But hey, Castle has been taken off the board, and we're going to be going straight into round number 1. So map 2 is underway, folks, and we're starting with Armor and Throne Room as the first site of choice.
Let's see.
Defenders,
Caught me when I was
protect your
drinking
bombs
water,
from being
man.
defused by attackers.
That's the second time I managed to do that tonight.
Yeah. You get my point. But jokes aside,
Yeah.
folks, yes, मैं आपको याद दिलाना चाहूँगा जो पहला मैप
Discover the location of the
हमारा
bomb.
वो कहीं ना कहीं फेवर में जाता हुआ TMC के साइड में काफ़ी हद तक चीज़ें थोड़ी सी ब्लीकी नजर आई है from the side of HMS. Mind my throat a little bit, sorry. Yes, जिस तरीके से अभी के लिए HMS उस मैप को किस तरह से अपने साइड लेती है, अपने फेवर में लेती है, बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाला है because it's gonna be a grand finale. अब जैसा सबकी आपको लोगों को
10
पता है,
seconds to go.
बट काफ़ी हद तक कुछ कोऑर्डिनेशन की कमी हमें देखने को मिल रही है फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ HMS. जिस तरीके से डिफरेंट
Attackers
प्लेयर्स
are
डिफरेंट
heading out
डायरेक्शन
to
में पुश ऑन
defuse
करते हुए
bombs.
नजर आ रहे हैं. फिर कोई दो प्लेयर्स एकदम से डाउन हो जाते हैं फ्रॉम द डिफेंस साइड, तो वो चीज़ें थोड़ी सी ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी. ऑफ कोर्स थीम पार्क है हमारी टीम HMS का पिक, तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है यस वो इम्प्रूव्ड वर्जन अपना दिखा सकते हैं इस मैप के ऊपर.
They have picked this map and they have brought TMC here, which is, I do believe, the first map that these two teams do not share with their match from the upper bracket finals. So this should be a wholly unique particular instance between these two. I'm going to check actually before I, lock myself in. Having said that, was Theme Park ever in play? No, it was not. Okay, my memory served me correctly, folks. Don't worry, no one is going to get, a new one torn open just yet. After all, we do know my memory is about as reliable as, oh, well, we'll have to wait for that one. Chippy Chip has found the first kill, and that's a big one as well. The Solus to fall, so the attackers can breathe a little bit more easier that their positions won't be revealed instantly just for doing what they need to do.
Of course, for now we can see the distribution. जिस तरीके से हम यहाँ पे डिफेंस को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट देख सकते हैं, दो बंदे हमारे साइड में खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं. यहाँ पे चिप ये काफी ज्यादा क्लोज. आई गेस he knows where the bandit and he knows कि लॉकर रूम में कोई ना कोई एक प्लेयर है. We might see somebody pushing in here. Chip is going to flashbang. I don't know कि वहाँ पे bandit flashbang होंगे कि नहीं, उससे इफेक्ट होंगे कि नहीं. डेफिनेटली वहाँ पे इफेक्ट नहीं होने वाला. लॉकर रूम में अभी के लिए is not having that much of trouble, but there's going to be somebody from this side of the attacking team to open up this particular barricade. Now bandits आराम से काफी आसानी से निकाल लिया जाएगा. It's gonna be a 5v3 scenario for now at the time being. They might run up this particular side of wall. Yellow corridor की यहाँ पे breach open up हो सकती है because they have a Thatcher as well. Thatcher यहाँ पे ban नहीं हुआ है and पिछले 2 मैप से यहाँ पे Thatcher ban नहीं हुआ, so that's an interesting fact over there. But for now, yes, yellow corridor को शायद से खोलने की यहाँ पे प्रयास की जाने वाली है and Satyanand on the other end, the side of Zero and the side of Felixio is getting ready to drop down from the side of Hatch.
Seems like that might be the case, as right now Ashikun with a big push out on towards the breach finds Godzilla. That's a massive kill. The Thatcher to go down, and the Doc can heal themselves back up very, very quickly as well. That is one player, mind you, in the cost of 4 more, in the face, excuse me, of 4 more attackers coming in. But a push out from NXPXL will find Selvexior. Ashikun falls on the other side. Trix gets that kill, and now just that much more difficult. Trix with another. That's a triple for the ace. Leaving King Bob Minion alone now, being watched from the hatch. Manages to get the head of Satyanand, but their position on split corridor is given away. The plan has happened, so this Capcan now needs to play this as quickly as possible. Wait, where are you watching? Where's the cover? It comes in just in time. Chippy Chip manages to shut down King Bob before things could get too much difficult.
Sorry to interrupt. Like I told you. पिछले मैप पे मैंने ये चीज कही थी, वो जो कोऑर्डिनेशन की जो थोड़ी सी एकदम कमी नजर आ रही है ना 5-6% की, वो अभी भी नजर आ रही है. चिप जब उनके प्लेयर अंदर गए हुए, so you gotta be on a lookout. He definitely was. I'm not saying he wasn't there to just be on a lookout that somebody can push from the double entryway, but वो 1 सेकंड लेट शायद से इनको कॉस्ट करा सकता था राउंड, क्योंकि वहाँ पे ऑलमोस्ट उस लास्ट बंदे ने एडीएस कर लिया था उनके हेड के ऊपर.
Right. So with all that now having taken effect, round 2. HMS put themselves on the board. A better start than they had in Villa, because in Villa, of course, they unfortunately lost round number 1. So now, round number 2, let's see if TMC can put themselves back on the board for as well. We are going back to First Floor Armory, the site that we saw just a little moment ago. And I feel like, again, the thing is, TMC managed to trade with HMS pretty well overall, but where they unfortunately could not keep up was, from what it seemed to me at least, their overall drone game was a little, unfortunately, weak, not really quite there, and they needed to be a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more solid on that front. Now, I get it, it's a Roma's job to waste time and maybe kill attackers. In that endeavor, you are expected to not come back to the site. However, wasting time and killing attackers requires one common element that, maybe, just maybe, someone might have missed, and that is, you have to stay alive to do that. So the roamers need to be a bit more aware of where they are, aware of their surroundings, get on the cams whenever possible, or ask an anchor to be on the cams to give them intel. That is required. Information. You have default cameras, you have deployable cameras, you have other means of intel gathering, you have the Solus as well, so it's not like you are devoid of information at all. There's ways to get it. You just have to apply yourself in that regard.
Yeah.
As right now, let's see what the idea is. Seems like it's going to be a mostly horizontal push from the attack with a little bit of verticality. But Mars really wanted that, but that angle is just not good for a, ground floor contest. And Trix makes sure that Super Mars learns that the hard way.
Well, now we can see nobody from the side of defense. Like, almost everybody. King Mini was in the site. Shahid is in sight. Ashkur Rahman is in sight. Everybody just anchoring in sight. So, until unless we see any of these balls getting open from the side of maintenance, from yellow corridor, but hey, Ashkur Rahman takes this out of Satya. It's going to be a 4v4. That was a good one, definitely good one. 1.5x for the win. I'm going to say that, but yes, when you have the option to equip that, of course you're going to equip that. But for now, the same strategy are being played from the side of attackers. They're going for the hatch. They might want to open up the side of yellow corridor wall. But last time, it almost was a pinch coming in from the side of the defense. But hey, we get another one. This time around with the C4 going in. And remind you folks, they're having one more C4 left on the pocket of King Bobby. That's going to be the bandit. So, definitely जो same strat वो अपनाने की कोशिश करना चाह रहे हैं, वो अभी के लिए तो workout नहीं करता.
There goes another one. Ashkur Rahman coming in with their own double. But there's the dog just almost cannot be stopped. Chippy Chip just managing to get that kill, but now they're stuck in a 1v2. No real avenue of entry. The breach is being watched, and so is Dragon's Door. They just don't know it yet. They are, pre-firing the bomb, trying to see if they can gain entry from somewhere in the map. There's a defender inside a split corridor that they need to be aware of course. And then
15
there's the
seconds
player
to go.
on Throne as well. King Bomb minion dodges the flashbang, sees the thermite, and it's an easy kill. And there you go, folks. We have a round going to TMC. Round number 2 is taken. It's a 1-1 to start us off on Theme Park.
डैम ये बैक एंड फोर्थ का गेम हमने लास्ट टाइम भी देखा था ब्लैक जैक अगर हम बात करें स्टार्टिंग कपल ऑफ जो इनिशियल राउंड्स में देखने को मिले थे फ्रॉम दीज बोथ टीम तो बैक एंड फोर्थ का गेम लास्ट मैप पे भी हमें देखने को आई सॉरी लास्ट राउंड कह दिया अपोलोजाइज फॉर दैट बट लास्ट टाइम हमने देखा था कि लाइक वो चीज़ लास्ट मैप पे भी हमें देखने को मिल रही थी कि बैक एंड फोर्थ एक राउंड हम देख रहे हैं टीएमसी के हाथों जा रहा है तो एक राउंड हमारा जाता हुआ नजर आ रहा है हमारे टीएमसी के पास तो अब unless we get into round number 4 round number 5 before the first attack and defense swap is getting done we can't say specifically कि कौन सी टीम यहाँ पे किसको आउटप्ले करते हुए नजर आ रही है बट one thing is for sure जिस तरीके से एंकर होते हुए अपने यूटिलिटीज पे खेलते हुए नजर आए डिफेंस दैट वाज डेफिनेटली वेरी वेरी स्मार्टली डन फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ टीएमसी
One of the things that Theme Park sort of boasts, especially for that, well, not especially, particularly for that Armory throne room, is a very
10 seconds left
strong
before insertion.
turtle strategy. So basically, what a turtle strategy is,
5
for those
seconds
who might
left.
not know, is where all the defenders, however many are alive at the time, are
Attackers must
just
locate and defuse the
inside
bomb.
the site. That's it, right? They're not roaming. They might lurk every now and again, but predominantly they're going to stay inside the site. And it makes sense. That's an interesting peek here from the storage window. So far, no dice, and they might decide to they decide to disengage and walk away from the angle there. But yeah, throne room, actually, you can really just hunker down in the site and play turtle and get away with it, actually, because that site is just so well equipped for a style like that. As in the meanwhile, we have the hatch being opened, the security hatch, and Ashikur Rahman. I get it. You got 4 kills in the first 2 rounds, but again, that does not mean you're gonna peak angles where you have the low ground. It's like Obi-Wan said to Anakin, "I have the high ground. Don't try it." It applies so much to Rainbow Six. I really am surprised more people don't make that Star Wars reference when they see it. But again, when an attacker or whoever has the high ground, generally you don't try to peek it. Otherwise, unlike Skywalker, you're going to get yourself cut off from the rest of the engagement. And that's a big first kill as well. The Doc is gone. Ashikur Rahman is gone. So the defense of TMC is greatly hindered.
Oh, he finds the leg, he finds the boost. Satyan with a very clever kill. This from that drone hall. I mean, like that was something really on point. The game is definitely on point. We can see some there. He was trying to make up rotations for it, get some caught out. Fix is going down. It's gonna be a 4v3. All of these attackers are pushing in from this particular hallway जहाँ पे हमें नीचे रूम के साइड से देखने को मिल रहा है बट फॉर नाउ अभी के लिए जिस तरह से ब्रीच वॉल ओपन अप हो चुकी है वो साइड में एंट्री वे को बनाने की यहाँ पे जो प्रयास है वो डेफिनेटली अभी के लिए सक्सेसफुल होने वाली है बट अगर हम खास कर देखें अभी तो बैक एंड फोर्थ डिफेंस यहाँ पे जस्ट निकालते हुए नजर आ रहा है चिप टेक्स द हैच ड्रॉन ड्रॉप करेंगे फ्रॉस्ट पे निकालने की कोशिश बट नोप इट्स गोना बी अ ट्रेड ऑफ कमिंग इन so gets the side of Spamaj and Shahid will take down the side of Chip and now definitely is going to be a scenario 45 seconds left on the clock Nabil finds Godzilla finds the head takes a good shot in that beat and Ronnie and Nabil with a pre-play C4
well done
boy damn
tell you what, that pre-play C4, I mean, the kill cam doesn't do it any justice, let's be real here. But that pre-play C4 and the call out on the red ping, well done to TMC on that. That is some very good late round investment that you have to do early if you want it to work, and they did it beautifully. Even when they got pushed into the 2v3, I think, right, post-breach that it was, they still held, no, actually 3v4, post-breach that situation was, they held their own. and they
Attackers need
made
to locate
that
and defuse
work.
bombs.
Well done, just well done. Keeping
Attackers
the
have discovered
necessary
the
players
location of a
alive. That's
bomb.
important. You know what else is important as well? Surprising your enemies whenever possible. And I think this site pick should surprise HMS quite a bit because it's surprised me, that's for sure. First floor, lab and storage, theme park's least played site, and it's not even a contest. The last time I saw this site, I'll tell you what, in South Asia, so to speak, because internationally it gets played a bit more, but I'm talking South Asia here. In South Asia, the last time I saw this site be played
10
was
seconds to
by a
insertion.
team on the PC scene known as Hunters LFO.
5
If you
seconds
follow
to
the
go.
esports scene, you may have heard of them. You know, they're only pretty much the best team in all of
Attackers
South
are heading
Asia,
out to
or at
defuse
least
the bomb.
tied for best team with a couple of others. So, yeah, they play this site, and relatively frequently too. They're the only team to have done so with a level of frequency that no other team does, because no other team goes to this site. And they win this site because, well, guess what? None of the other teams bother to learn this site. So the question is TMC looking to replicate that situation where they know, or at least have an idea of this site that maybe HMS doesn't?
Yep.
Attackers have dropped the
I
bomb
mean,
diffuser.
see, in terms of strats, मेरा एक काफी एक strong opinion रहा है जब ये ना console और blackjack ये PC वाला debate होता है. Strats के मामले में, of course, like PC scene में we have the pro league, you know, players, teams playing in the global circuits and all of that stuff. तो वो चीज़ adapt कर ली जाती है by the PC players, and that also gets adapted by the console players in the rank of ESL. But like I said, क्योंकि कोई competitive खेलने का कोई scenario अभी के लिए नहीं है, but in the meanwhile, I will stop this topic because we see this thing on the side of N2 and N2 was पिछले हम कुछ round से देख रहे थे ज़्यादा खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे थे, but for now he gets shut down. Now we're going for the C4, eventually will not connect, but for now it's going to be a good trade-off happening but in the trade-off, so to speak, that's going to be the wrong word. Godzilla with the man advantage being
dropped the
on their
diffuser.
side gets the side of Nabil. Now Shahid all the way on, trying to hold up this angle with the rotation over here. Satana will take the entry towards the side of Arcade Toilet. Chippy Chip is pushing from the armory. Tricks को हम देख सकते हैं तो कैफे के ऊपर खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, provide the cover. Godzilla भी ऊपर खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं.
Attackers
King
have
Kong
recovered their
meanwhile
diffuser.
gets the side of Chippy Chip. Now it's going to be a 4v3, but let's see on how the defense handle the situation, because they have Tachenga, they have the Shumika launcher, they can just fire up the side of Arcade Toilet and they can just take care of the 90 hallway.
That should be the optimal play here from King Bob, but the question is, where is King Bob Minion? The Tatanka is out on the prowl. Supermass finds Godzilla. That's a huge kill right there, making it 3v3. But the thing is, this Tachanka being away from the side could mean big things, but there's somebody on the main hallway that we just saw. Arcade hallway, so to speak. I think it's Tricks the Ace. No, it's Elvexer the IQ coming in from this part of the map. Gotta be careful, gotta make sure you're watching this site, and that is exactly why Shadid called it out and finds Selvexior. King Bob falls on the other side, and the Ace takes one, but Shadid is unfazed. 1v2 now, make that 0v2. And once again, it was a 3v5, TMC unfazed, unshaken, using the site to their advantage, using the covers to their advantage. They make it 3-1, and once again, HMS messy attempted site execute that they simply could not feasibly pull off without, again, map control. Magical words, I know. Map control, folks. There was only one player at any given point in time on the arcade side, right? Towards the barrels or hallway. And when that IQ went down, that's when the Ace decided, oh, hey, I should try to put pressure from that side. Had both of them been there from the beginning, Shadid wouldn't have been able to get those kills. They would have been crossfired, and it would be all left to the Valkyrie in the site alone. One change, one position different, and suddenly the round goes to HMS. So these are the kinds of things that I'm saying. HMS is just not making these decisions. They're not even considering them. They are simply letting their bodies fall by giving away single keys.
So to speak, अगर हम मैप कंट्रोल की बात करें तो कैफे के ऊपर जैसा उनका पुश बनता नजर आया था ना, I could be wrong over here, Blackjack, please correct me if I'm wrong, but वहाँ पे अगर हम देखें तो ऊपर से कैफे के साइड से येलो कॉरिडोर they had the control, but उसके बाद जिस तरीके से टॉयलेट के तरफ से दो अटैकर्स पुश करते हुए नजर आए, वो थोड़ा सा मेरे को गलत लगा, बट ओवरऑल देखें तो वर्टिकल कंट्रोल तो था एचएमएस के पास इन द लास्ट राउंड. व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
It was there to an extent, but again, they didn't really use it, right? Especially over the site. Cafe allows like vertical control, and yet I didn't see anyone holding it towards the end of the round. All of them had moved to stairs and the bathroom corridor, and they died because of it, right? I think one player died above, but again, just one player here, one player there. That's not quite how it's going to work. You have 5 players. Divide them up into 2, 2, and 1. One player can play intel, play the back foot support stuff, and the other 2 can do roam play. The other 2 can do side breaching. Again, pool your resources and divide them equally. HMS doesn't do that. They just kind of go for kills. And when it works, but when it doesn't, it really doesn't.
I see what you're trying to say. But that's good. I was playing Cab onto the map of Team Power. Of course, I was thinking we might see some interrogations here and there, but I'm really sorry. Abhi ke liye, so Shurama will get shut down from the side of Canada and Chippy Chip. Chippy Chip is doing absolute good job. हम पिछले अगर कुछ rounds की भी हम बात करें, round में 2 round में 3 की भी बात करें, तो वहाँ पे भी Chippy Chip is going to be the first guy or the first the frag taker from the side of HMS. Now for a fact that I'm pretty sure Solis का जो पता है तब पता है वो definitely पता चल चुका है कि वो locker room में hold करते नजर आ रहे हैं. He finds one, but no. पीछे हटने की कोशिश की जाएगी. अब कहीं ना कहीं कोशिश ये की जाएगी वहाँ से बच के निकले. Eventually थोड़ा सा जरूर whip किया गया है from the side of Thermite, but he's going for the SMG, but that's not gonna work out. दोनों तरफ से pin down कर दिया गया था. Now definitely again we might see the same strategy कि yellow corridor को खोलने की प्रयास की जाएगी, but वहाँ पे frost presented to know for a fact that it's gonna be someone there. अब yellow corridor की wall को खोलने का प्रयास successful रहेगा, but for now they have just 2 defenders left out holding angles into the throw room area, and the other one is towards the side of armory, this particular doorway. So we might see 1 or 2 flags getting in, but Chippy Chip will get one. That is left out in the 1v5 scenario. Supermall will get definitely one, but I don't think so. That 1v4 will be possible, and of course, it's gonna be a 3-2 score line coming into the favor of, for now, this particular round going into the favor of the side of HMS. Very well executed, very well done. But जिस तरीके से थोड़ा सा एक दो उनके डिफेंडर्स इधर उधर मंडराते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, very far away from sight, do you think that's necessary?
For the roam, maybe yes, but again, this is something I said in the very first round, right? That roaming is good on Theme Park. You need to do so, in fact. But I said this, I think, on round number 3 or so. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is, I'll repeat my point. As a roamer, what is your job? Your job is to waste attackers' time, make sure they are late to their setups, make sure they can't get comfortable in the map, and if you can, it's not the be all end all of it, but if you can, get a couple of kills. However, there's something that both of those jobs needs you to do and be in order to complete them. And you can't do that by running around helter-skelter without zero information. That is the problem I have seen from both teams. You have resources, you have drones, you have cameras, and so many other ways to gain info. Audio key, visual key. Maybe a site anchor who's not doing much right now could potentially get on a cam for like a couple of seconds. Just flip through them, see if there's an attacker. If there's a defender nearby, give the call out. If you're an attacker playing the support or playing a flex role and currently on the back foot, get on a drone. If you're down, just if you're dead in the round, get on cams, get on drones. I'm not seeing that from these players. They are just spectating operators and probably cluttering up the communication, which you don't need to do. Cameras, observation tools are there for a reason, and they are very important to Rainbow Six Siege and to just any match of Rainbow Six, not even competitively, any match. Use them to their fullest. I don't see them doing that. I see them doing that occasionally, like right now. King Bob on this camera sees the drone, will be able to give the call that, hey, they're droning from the Dragon Balcony or Cash Balcony, whatever you want to call it. That's what you need. Intel. And the more you have, the better chances you have of winning a given round.
Yep, for now, folks, it's gonna be, we're going into the last round of this particular first swap before the first swap is getting made. जो पहला हमें देखने को मिल जाता है एज अ प्रो ग्रुप से, बट एक कंट्रोल हमें लेते हुए नजर आएंगे अगर हम HMS की बात करें. कैश टैग से पूरी जो हमारी ड्रैगन स्पेस की जो लॉबी हमें देखने को मिल जाती है, बट ये चीज़ हमने कमिंग बैक what do you call, sorry, round number 2 या round number 3 में भी देखने को मिली थी. But that eventually round was very much close. That JMP will be going on for the time being. And guess what? काफी आसानी से open up कर देगा. Panty is going for a trick. This can be neat one. Oh, he does the trick. He does the job very closely. हमें पहले भी देखने को मिला था, if you remember, on towards the map of Clubhouse. The next 6 is now placing Osha, is now placing his talent shield. A talent shield for the time being. But now 1 minute and 6 left on the clock. A quick flick coming in from Sara Triple T makes a situation 5v4. And that was some shot getting done. That was some quick flick right there. And this is what I love about the control players back there. This is what I was talking about previously. But Tricks for the time being will take on down the side of King Bomb. Mediums, slowly we see the side of defenders getting, picked apart here and there. Godzilla also gets one, and now the situation looks very much controlled and into the favor of the side of attackers. He's trying to take up the side of the Cafe Carter. He knows somebody's trying to push him from the stairs. He goes for it, but a flawless goal coming in from the side of HMS, which was much needed very early in the game. But finally, before we go into round number 7, we see a scoreline of 3-3. What else do you need, man?
That's the thing, right? Again, HMS played that round pretty well. They used everything in their arsenal. They got their drones in, they saw where the defenders were, and they went in with the knowledge of where they could therefore be. On the other hand, TMC just simply didn't do that. Let's take that example of the bandit that we were watching, right?
Yeah.
Took a gunfight. NXPXL, I think, was playing the bandit, right? So they took a gunfight, they took damage, fell back, they kind of peeked
Defenders,
the double
protect
door
your
going
bombs
into waiting
from being
room,
defused by
and then fell
attackers.
back. I don't think they saw anyone in there, but that's where the breach was happening. That's where a lot of the noise has been coming from. So the idea is, yeah, attackers are in that part of the map. They get healed up by the dog. And the first thing they do, instead of maybe thinking about a flank, maybe thinking about staying on site, helping where it's needed, the first thing they do is just, peek face first into the awaiting bullets of HMS. That is a problem. And it's not just because I'm pointing out NXBXL
10 seconds
from
left.
the side of TMC doesn't mean that HMS is clear of
5
blame in
seconds
this
to go.
regard. They are too. They've done this. It's just that in the last round, they didn't.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
That's the thing. The rounds that neither of these teams are playing with complete disregard for their lives, those rounds they're winning. And the rounds where they're playing with single peaks, hyper aggressive, what we call ego peaks even sometimes.
Yeah.
Whenever they're doing that, they are dying. They are losing rounds. And it's happened so often, I'm surprised they haven't caught on to that fact yet. But we shall see if that changes, as now we're in round number 7, the second half of the equation, which means, of course, TMC are attacking, HMS are defending.
Thomas very early. Control of Cafe. He will get very early picked up
Is that?
from the side of Tricks. Yeah. I mean,
That Hibana was a
Bomb diffuser
low.
has been dropped.
okay. The Cervix also get the side of Shady. So, for a fact now, these ego picks are definitely not going into the favor of the side of ATMC. But that was some play coming in from the side of Mr. Rahman. Gets the side of Cervix.
Attackers recovered the
Jaeger was definitely not ready for the time being. But for now, जो एक कैफे का कंट्रोल लेने की वो जो कोशिश करते हैं ना ज़्यादातर टीएमसी उनमें 2 बंदे उनके जा रहे हैं. But the time is yes, Thunderbird will drop down the side of Rahman, the side of Twitch. And yes, he was the side of Battle Room, makes that rotation, uses that C4. जो माइट आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं के लिए फ्राई या फिर प्लान डिनाई करने के लिए, बट अभी के लिए वो उन्होंने रोटेशन बनाई और वहाँ से निकलते हुए नजर आया. बट टेक अ लुक विद हाउ मेनी किल्स इज ट्रिक्स हैविंग राइट नाउ. 11-3 कमिंग इन फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ ट्रिक्स. अगर हम उस तरफ देखें फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ टीएमसी, नोबडी हैज गॉट अप टिल द डबल डिजिट नंबर फॉर द टाइम बीइंग. बट यस, स्पॉट्स एक रैंडम प्री फायर तो मैं नहीं कहूँगा, बट यस यहाँ पे अगर आपके पास C4 होता, इस पल पे आपके पास C4 होता, यू माइट हैव जस्ट प्रॉब्ली टॉस अप टू दैट हैच एंड वो किल कंफर्म हो सकता था. बट अभी के लिए ये समझो, यहाँ पे किल बॉब इंडियन की बात करें, जीरो की बात करें तो वो भी आर्केड एंट्रेंस से वेरी स्नीकली पुशिंग करते हुए आ रहे हैं. बट एज वी सी द एंगल गेटिंग चेंज, द एरिया गेटिंग चेंज फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ थंडरबर्ड. She knows for a fact that there are 2 guys pushing. But Tricks gets one with the SMG, he gets another one. A 4K coming in from the side of Thunderbird. Job getting so well done from the side of Thunderbird. I mean, like Thunderbird से ऐसा play मैंने expect नहीं किया था. That was so good.
And here's the thing that I'm going to point out for what feels like the
Yeah.
3rd time in this match. A Romer's job perfectly done.
Yeah.
Tricks knew full well what they had to do. as soon as the first kill went off by the
Yeah.
Jaeger, Trixt and the Jaeger player were above, right? They knew what they had to do was waste time.
Yeah.
They managed to find a lone Hibana doing whatever in Cafe, right? And they take the kill. That's
Defenders,
good.
protect
That's a
your bombs
breacher
from being
down.
defused
More
by
importantly,
attackers.
that's a player down. That means focus will not be on the rumors that, hey, there's players above we need to take down. The attackers now try to funnel in, and that's where Trix struck. Ashikud went down. Yes, we did see that, but Trix was still there, and they knew Trix was still there. They had the Thunderbird droned out. We saw the rest.
Attackers
You know.
discovered the
But what did
location
Trix
of a
do?
bomb.
They played to their strengths, cover to cover, and took down players because again, all that TMC seemed capable of doing was giving
10
away
seconds
solo
left.
kills. And throughout the entire round,
5 seconds left before insertion.
throughout the entire round, Trixt did not have any more than
Attackers'
one
objective is to
attacker
defuse the
pushing them
bomb.
at any given time, which is the biggest issue here. I feel like a broken record that I'm saying this over and over again, but it feels the more this happens, the more I feel the need to stress it. You are playing a team game. There are multiple people who can back you up and trade you if you get taken down. So use those opportunities. They've got a Dokkaebi here now, which means calls will be there. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Super Mars. That's an Amaru repel in, and that is one way to take defenders by surprise, putting them onto the back foot very heavily. There's Amaru. Does go down, but Salvexia may have got that. Minute. This could suddenly be turning around as it's up to a 2v3 now. Salvexia pushing into control room back there. You know, just making sure to apply some pressure. Ashiko doesn't get the Aruni there. And the Aruni makes him all back.
8-1.
But Salvexior overextending there. 1v3. All up to Chippy Chip.
All chip अभी के लिए 1v3 सिनेरियो में फंसते हुए नजर आएंगे. He knows for a fact that कैफे पे बंदा है, उनके हॉल में भी बंदा है, जिस तरह से उनको साउंड डेफिनेटली आया होगा. But what just happened in with Super Mars over there? I mean, like, what just? Oh boy.
They weren't expecting it. Like, element of
Definitely.
surprise, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But ये चीज हमने पहले भी देखी है. अमारू प्लेस ऐसे वाले हमने पहले भी देखी है टीएमसी के द्वारा. With against the same team HMS, if you remember Blackjack. तो
Yep.
वो एक सरप्राइज ऑफ एलिमेंट तो मैं नहीं कहूँगा. इट्स मोर ऑफ लाइक कि कहीं ना कहीं चीज़ें थोड़ी सी आप भूल जाते हो जो कि आप कभी अपने अपोनेंट के साथ जब आप रेगुलर इंटरवल से नहीं खेल रहे हो.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
तो
by
आई वुड
attackers.
से हाँ, इंडिया के कॉर्पोरेट ऑपरेटर हम एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं. स्पेशली सुपर माजी वो बंदा था जो लास्ट टाइम भी हमने देखा था उस BO3 में सेम प्ले आउट करते हुए नजर आ रहे थे. तो आई एम नॉट से द एलिमेंट ऑफ सपोर्ट
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
ठीक है, गलती हो गई आपसे वो चीज़.
Deploying welcome mat.
Well, with that said, I feel like the side of the side of the orange team,
10
not the
seconds
orange team,
left
the side of the
before
blue team, aka of course
Loading mag.
HMS, are going to be a
5
lot
seconds
more perceptive to a potential Amaru play, and Super Mars has
Attackers are
played
moving
that
to defuse the bomb.
particular operator, has picked that particular operator again, so there could be another big repellent very quickly. Just got to be careful of that side of that front. That that push could potentially come in from. We have the final plays, the final bits and pieces being put into the site,
Almost ready.
and let's see exactly how the retaliation could be from HMS. A round was taken away from them. They're not just gonna lie down and let it happen. They're gonna try to take it back. They're gonna try and put themselves back in the lead. There's a Twitch in play this time around, and that's a good thing. That Twitch is gonna be the bane of that Mira's existence. Salvexior, excuse me, and the rest of the defenders are gonna be cursing themselves that they didn't pick a mute, which is interesting. Yeah, they haven't picked mute multiple times now. I want to. Nope, there is
He
the.
was trying the same thing again, I guess.
Yep. They wanted to send it, but not quite.
Yes, for the time being, Supermars को अभी के लिए कहीं और से अपनी एंट्री वे देखनी पड़ेगी कि वो किस तरह से साइड के अंदर प्रवेश करते हुए नजर आ सकते हैं. वहीं हम चिप की बात करें तो
Attackers have
आकेश
dropped the
ट्रेस
bomb
पे होल्ड ऑन
diffuser.
करते हुए नजर आएंगे. सिर्फ ट्रेस प्लेइंग ऑन टू हिज कंट्रोल रूम एरिया. Trix यहाँ पे office wall जो है yellow stairs का connection देखने को मिलता है. Timing Shane gets one. It's going to get double kill coming in. Godzilla को भी यहाँ पे तुरंत निकाल लिया जाएगा. Ashkurman gets another one. Now completely defense is getting picked apart one by one. The diffuser is going down. The plant is going down, and definitely just कोशिश की जाएगी तो plant को रोकने का, but I don't think so that will happen. Left out with a very low HP. Again, a similar strategy of rushing towards our objective, rushing towards our defenders. वो वापस से काम करता हुआ नजर आ रहा है TMC के साइड के लिए.
Yep. And this time, of course, it was more of a delayed rush, right? Because they held themselves back. They waited until the site setup was done to just jump in there. But it worked. They seem to have found something that can give them an advantage, and that advantage being now the 5-4. TMC are really working hard here because, again, let us remind our viewers here, Villa is, of course, a very defender-sided map. And the fact that TMC are able to take rounds, especially in this fashion, away from HMS, who are on the defense, that's good stuff. That is indeed really good stuff.
Attackers
With all
have
that said,
discovered the
though,
location of a bomb.
let's see if, again, HMS has some sort of comeback to this matter, to this situation. They have been put on the back foot again, and they're losing momentum fast. They've gone back to first floor armory and throne room, and let's see how, they decide to play this particular site. Again, they could turtle up. They could decide to go all into Rome, really invest in the Romes, because we've seen plays like that happen as well.
Attackers are
Site
heading out to
retake plays,
defuse
I
the
like
bomb.
to call them, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But we'll have to just wait and see.
Let's see. But अभी के लिए जिस तरीके से एक पॉइंट टू पॉइंट स्कोर चलते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, बट हाँ रिमाइंड यू फोक्स, अगर यहाँ पे अभी इस वक्त पे ये राउंड अगर निकालते हुए नजर आती है अपने साइड में TMC, तो डेफिनेटली वहाँ पे हम 6-4 का स्कोर लाइन देखेंगे. हमें पूरा ओवरऑल सीरीज मैच पॉइंट अभी देखता हुआ नजर आएगा, सीरीज मैच पॉइंट हमें मिलता हुआ नजर आएगा. बट कहीं ना कहीं अगर डिफेंस हमारी HMS की जो वो होल्ड अप करते हुए थोड़ी देर के लिए भी अगर नजर आती है, सो that can also result up in a good situation जहाँ पे we might see a third map. We might see the map of Chalet coming into the play. And Chalet शायद से उतना ज़्यादा इस टूर्नामेंट में पूरे कम्युनिटी में नहीं खेला गया जितना बार हम दूसरे मैप्स को खेलते हुए नजर देखते हुए नजर आए इस टूर्नामेंट में, getting played by the teams and picked up by the teams, जिसमें सबसे पहले अगर नाम आता है ब्लैक जैक तो वो डेफिनेटली ओरेगन का आता है.
Yeah, like I say, it's not really a South Asia day if there's no Oregon in play. But for now, there's going to be no Thermite in play as NXPXL falls because of Godzilla. That's a good kill there from the Capcan. And again, Capcan in play as well. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of this operator from HMS's defense, given how much of a fast play attempt has been going on. There you go. This is exactly why Capcan would be so useful. Shadid taking so much damage right now from D. Super Mars in the meanwhile also taking damage. You have these explosive devices coming in. Sylvexia finds one, but Shadid and Ashkar Rahman take down Trix and Godzilla on the other side. It's a 2v3. Not the most, not actually it's 3v3, excuse me right there. It's not too difficult for TMC to win this, but the problem is it's going to be very difficult to do so. It's not impossible is what I meant to say, because you can enter the site, but that clearance that your breacher would have given you is now gone.
But yes, 4 seconds left on the clock. There are still 3 of the attackers trying to push on from the area of this particular red corridor. But for the time being, yes. And yes. Oh, a kill coming in. That's very much unexpected. They also made up an entryway towards this particular radio corridor. Setting against the side of it's going to be resulting in a 2v2 scenario. King Monmouth slowly trying to sneak big in. And yes, one gets this. Alexa will be right there to shut him up. And now, in a 1v2 scenario, I don't know why Supermars didn't push up. जहाँ पे लायन के साथ पुश अप करते नजर आ रहे थे. Yes, we had the intel of Chippy Chip. Oh, Chippy Chip, how you did that? I was sprinting right up it. Why? I mean, why was just sprinting? That was not needed. But for the time being, it's going to be Celestial. The shutdown for the side of Supermars, and that was such good trades happening. And of course, दोनों तरफ से, I'm really sorry. मैंने गलती से वो बटन दबा दिया. Apologies. But जिस तरीके से बैक एंड फोर्थ में इस बार आया, ये बहुत ज़्यादा क्लोज आ गया था कि हम एक 6-4 देख सकते थे. बट यस चिप हो गए या फिर हमें और कुछ प्लेयर्स नजर आ रहे हैं, कुछ वो अनयूजुअल एक्शन हमें देखने को मिल रहा है। टेक फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे जैसे चिप अभी एकदम से तुरंत भागते हुए नजर आए, वो स्प्रिंट करता हुआ आना शायद से उतना ज़रूरी नहीं था इन माय ओपिनियन, बिकॉज यू नो फॉर अ फैक्ट दैट कि वहाँ पे एक ब्रीच हो चुका था येलो कॉरिडोर के वॉल पे।
That's the thing, though. Even with that yellow card breach, I feel like the
Attackers need to
the
locate and
Overwatch
defuse as
just
many bombs
wasn't
as they
there from
can.
Super Mars, and that breach isn't exactly too big either. It's one secondary hard breach charge or a can opener, if you will, right? It makes a very small vaultable hole and nothing more than that. About the same size-ish as one whack of Sledge's hammer, right? So you're not really going to get too much out of that, even though it is a good line of sight to have. Again, there's just one player watching from it. There's no cross angle really being held. And once again, it was singular gunfire that was being taken. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. You need to force the situation in order to get inside, but a little bit more planning. Maybe again, that breach
5
could have
seconds
been
remaining.
like a double breach on that wall. There was a secondary, like a second can opener, so
Attackers
for
are
that,
moving to
the line
defuse
could
the
have helped
bomb.
from there.
Attackers dropped the
The IQ
diffuser.
could have helped from there as well, instead of both trying to enter through Dragon Doorway, where one, especially for the line,
Attackers
right,
recovered the
it's
bomb
doubly worse for the line because the IQ had already died there. So they know there's an angle that's being watched that's very hard to contest because you already lost a player on that angle. So to peek it again, E1D or not, did not help. Again, these little things. It's these little things, folks. And it's not to say that, singular peaks are bad. Single peaks can
Attackers
work,
bomb
but again,
diffuser has been
in
spotted.
scarcity, in moderation. You don't just go every single round peeking away like a madman expecting it to work, because you will get read into, you will get taken off court. That's why strategies exist. That's why playing in moderation exists. You need to remember those things. Chip, that's a good peek right there. Finds King Bob Minion. Again, if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. King Bob goes down, a solo rappel on the security window. And there goes Alexia on the other side. Ashka takes that. And wait a minute, a flank? Potentially not a flank, excuse me, but a backstab from the hallway of Arcade. That will also be traded 3v3 going into the 11th round.
very much I would say unexpected. कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लग रहा था कि ये कुछ rounds निकलते हुए आए हैं, but a trade off happening in real quick. Super wants to get this out of Chip. Meanwhile, Trix will shut down Nabil. Now two of these attackers are pushing in from the same cafe area. 1 minute 24 seconds left on the clock. अभी के लिए Trix का शायद लोकेशन ना बताओ, एक collateral हो सकता था, but no, he will shut down. Shahid is very low on edge. He shut that and gets another one. But double kill coming in from the side of Satyara. This was so much needed. Trix with 16 kills coming into this favor. Boy, oh boy. Ashkur Rahman with 10 on the other side. Shahid with also 10 and 6. But Trix, boy, you gotta give credits to this guy. What a play coming in. And वो जिधर भी जा रहा है, वो he's dropping bodies here and there. I mean, like, well done. Dude, well done.
All right, we've got a game on our hands, folks. 6 and 5 going into map number 2. We are in the round of ones. One round for the side of HMS to win this, as they are on map point after all, and push for map number 3. One round for the side of TMC to equalize yet again and push for that covenant. Round 13 overtime. We'll have to wait and find out exactly how things go from here, as after all, the orange team, TMC that is, they will be feeling the heat at the moment. They have fought hard to get to where they have, and mind you, this is probably reminding them of the upper bracket finals, where again they had an overtime situation and they lost, if I recall correctly, to HMS. Again, let me just go back and see that.
जो last matchup हुआ था उसके साथ ही हुआ था वो BOC के अगर आप
Reinforcing wall!
It was with HMS. I'm just trying to see who won map 1, who won map 2
5 seconds
actually.
remaining.
Map 2 was won by TMC, yes, and it was on overtime. So they have really
Attackers are
fought
moving
for
out
it
to
before,
locate a bomb and
but they were
defuse it.
already 1-0 down. This time they're 1-0 up, and they're going potentially to overtime. And I say potentially because, of course, nothing happened yet. We've just hit the action phase for the round. Let's see how that goes,
Attackers have
actually. We've got a
located a bomb.
gridlock in play from Super Mars, a good pick for that anti-flank, anti-backstab type of player, type of operator, I should say, type of gadget, utility, so on and so forth. The Dokkaebi as well. Again, TMC are bringing in everything they possibly can, and so are HMS.
It's the well, and I would say the same thing फ्रॉम बोथ साइड्स। अभी के लिए यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं वो सिमिलर एक कमबैक इन दिस पर्टिकुलर मैच जो बट वहीं पे एक और जो पैटर्न निकलता हुआ नजर आ रहा है बोथ साइड। टीएमसी का अटैक हम के लिए देखते हैं, शहीद विल गेट द साइड ऑफ ट्रैक्स। तो एक कैफे का पुश यूजुअली हो रहा है, वी डोंट सी एनीबॉडी पुशिंग इन फ्रॉम द बेस फॉर द फर्स्ट फ्लोर एरिया, nobody pushing from the side of the lower floor area. Everybody's trying to capitalize this particular area, trying to get the map control towards this. But Selection comes in, gets another one, might get, but no, trade happening is shuts down the side of Selection. But Chippy will also shut down the side of SQ. It's gonna be a trade happening in real quick, and यहीं पे आधी ज़्यादा टीम सेट की तरफ से प्लेयर कहीं ना कहीं समाप्त होते हुए नजर आए। अभी के लिए यहाँ पे 3v3 की सिनारियो बनते हुए नजर आएगी, but Nabil is still running towards the side of this particular castle entrance, towards this exterior balcony. But क्या अभी के लिए डिफेंस जिस तरीके से होल्ड अप करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, ये इतना सफिशिएंट नहीं हो रहा है। क्या थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, but oh, I forgot कब contract
traps are really doing work right now. King Bob is a little peek away from falling into a potential line of sight for the Mira. Where is the Dokkaebi? They were repelling on Cash balcony just a while ago, but Chip finds NXBXL. That is a big drop. King Bob now left alone as Godzilla. Khabib, it's all down to that last player who will not be able to stop this from going to where we know it will, folks. Now, it is a 7-5 to HMS, and we are going to be going to map number 3, Chalet. There is no overtime, not yet. Map 3 will be in play. HMS have just now proven so.
Let's see, man. For time being now, what do you think? Like overall कि जो हमें scores देखने को मिल रही है, जिस तरीके से back and forth का game चालू है, what do you think about that?
Honestly, the scores are good. The players have been playing pretty much as well as they can to their level best. I still heavily disagree with the idea of single peaks being your main driving factor as a team, because again, you know, strats are there for a reason. Strategies are there for a reason. And because single peaks and, you know, ego peaks are such a big thing in this match, you see them working so often because it's ego peak versus ego peak, right? One of them will have to win. That's just the nature of it.
We know for a fact.
But but if there were a bit more strategies implemented, the rounds could go longer, could go closer as well, and that would of course make for an even more entertaining game. I'm not saying this game hasn't been entertaining or that, you know, this match hasn't been difficult for both teams. It has been. I fully expect it to be. But it can be even better, and that is by the application of team-wide strategies, by actually, you know, playing as a team, as I've been saying for this entire time. Strategies are, you know, I'll just say this off the top of my head because I've seen this said before, and this match kind of reminds me of this saying that a lot of people who aren't into competitive, who aren't playing in the scene, especially at the top levels, will say, oh, hey, but strategies, you know, restrict individual players from their fullest potential. That's not the point of a competitive team-based game. If you're looking for individual potentials to be maxed out by your own playstyle, fighting games are right there down the left. You know, that's where you play solo.
I get your point.
Here, you're playing a 5v5 game, and you have a team. Use that team. You have utility, you have gadgets, so on and so forth. Use those utilities, those gadgets. If you're not going to do that, you might as well be playing a fighting game by yourself. And then when the other team is actually playing like a team, you're not going to get anywhere. I'm sorry, that just is. Now, I just had to get that out off my chest because I've seen that said in too many places, not just in competitive Siege, mind you. Even in fighting games, people say the same, that, oh, if you stick to this team, you stick to this play,
particular character, I get
it won't work. I get it. You know, picking meta is a thing, but picking meta playing solo is just losing, unfortunately.
But for the time being, sorry to interrupt. For the time being,
so
like, yes. We'll take a short break, guys. Apologies from my side. I'm handling too many screens right now to just focus upon my breaking these strat plays and doing the casting of all of these. Like, thoda sa meri casting is very jari. But for the time, you know, we'll take a short break. Apologies for all the delays. But yes, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back right after with the third map, जो हमारा होने वाला Chalet, जहाँ पे TMC पहले अटैक करने वाली है in this whole entire series. TMC पहली बार अटैक करने वाली for the first 6 rounds. So let's see what these teams offer from their arsenal. But चलते हैं थोड़े से break के लिए and मिलते हैं एक छोटे से ब्रेक के बाद।
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Rainbow Six Siege South Asia Console Community Cup. Here with the host Blackjack and, of course, Bullet the Crazy Gamer, as we are now here for map number 3, folks, of this fateful encounter between TMC and HMS. The grudge match has hit that stage where a fellow caster of ours, the real CCP, would like to call a glorified best of one. This one map will decide who wins everything in the Community Console Cup and who walks home the loser for the night. Let's not waste any more time, folks. Let's get right into the match itself. Chalet is going to be our third map. TMC are going to be attacking, and HMS will be defending. Bullet, take it away.
I mean, like, see, we knew for a fact that ये starting से कहीं ना कहीं पता था Blackjack, क्योंकि इतना ज़्यादा टेंशन्स बॉयल हो रहे हैं दोनों टीम्स के बीच में, इतना ज़्यादा वो जो आप जिस चीज़ को डिफाइन करे हो ग्रज से, I want to say attention, but hey, Orange team यहाँ पे definitely finally we see a Thatcher ban. Finally we see a Thatcher ban coming in. From the last 2 maps जो हमें विला और थीम पार्क में देखने को मिला था, वहाँ पे हमें नहीं देखने को मिला था Thatcher ban, but from the blue team जो हमें देखने को मिलने वाली है the side of none other than TMC will be banning the side of Nomad, and Orange team के side से, sorry, HMS के side से हमें Thatcher का ban देखने को मिला है. But yes, मुझे लग रहा है we might see also a Kaid ban or a Mira ban, in my opinion. What do you think?
Given that the Thatcher has already been banned, Kaid would actually make sense, but again, Castle will be taken care of. On Chalet, I had this discussion with CCV the other day as well. Chalet, there are some old stats with Castle, yes, but most teams seem to be, kind of falling away from using Castle as much as they used to before. And these days, Chalet, you only really see Castle be brought in for, let's say, first floor kitchen dining, and maybe second floor if you're willing to have that operator in play. But otherwise, Chalet doesn't see a lot of Castle play. That's the thing. So to ban the Castle, I feel like for the third time in a row, I don't see it providing too much assistance to TMC other than them just wanting to keep Solus and Azami in play, and that's why they keep banning the Castle, because really there isn't a reason for it, especially on Villa, especially. Castle is not that big of an operator, I'll be honest with you, especially in the competitive scene, because Villa doesn't really need Castle unless you're like really extending, and even then you can get by without him. And on Chalet as well, you have to be really extending or playing kitchen dining. And from what I've seen, console competitive Siege really likes basement snowmobile garage and second floor master bedroom and office, both sides where you don't really need the Castle. Snowmobile garage, you don't need Castle at all. So like, I'm just thinking, like, what's the idea here? Capcan, of course, we get. Like, we saw how effective Capcan traps can be in the previous map itself, so that's no surprise. Thatcher Nomad, no surprises. Flanks and electrical utilities, both of which are going to be affected differently with those 2 bans now. But again, the Castle is just like using up a ban slot for the sake of using up a ban slot, I feel like, which I get it, but at the same time, Azami and Solus are probably better bans than a Castle in this particular map, or in any of the 3 maps we've had today.
I agree with you. I agree with the fact that they have gone for a Castle and Kapkan. Kapkan seems understandable. A lot of players do get caught out in those booby traps, or maybe I can just call it entry denial device or NGD traps, whatever you may call that gadget up to. But yes, for the time being now, we see a very early push, early control being taken from hallway. Westman to say side se koi hame defense mein खेलता हुआ देखने को जाए, but for now there is some quick picks here and there to try and find some bodies. But yes, यहाँ पे road jump देखने को मिल जाता है, and that is disabled from the secondary EM. I believe जो यहाँ पे Minuk के side से था, or probably that's from there. Yes, they're also trying to open up the 4th lane, so this might be a tricky as the C4 comes in right onto the face of Shahid, and Chippy will get on to the side of Shahid, and this will be a 4v3 scenario. But for the time being, Fish open up so very interesting vertical angle with that C4, which might get the guy, but Godzilla will come up, takes on the side of Shiraq, Supermars takes on the side of Celestial, but Supermars comes up with another one, shut down the side of Chippy, and they have the side control of the bomb A.
Unfortunate scenes here from the defense of HMS, but Godzilla refuses to give up, finding Supermars as well. give as much of an advantage as they can. There comes Satyanand. Now it's all down to the 1v2. King Bob Minion, the lone Nook, roaming around inside the site, watching blue, knowing full well there could be somebody there. And there is Satyanand has peeked, given away, exposed themselves just a little bit. The reload comes in, and King Bob wants to be as quiet as possible, but the flank. Not much you can really do when you're being pushed from two angles. You know there's somebody in front of you, and there's only so much you can do there, and thus the Nook will fall. HMS's defense will take the first round on Chalet. Again, interesting scenes here, given that the map of Chalet is generally considered attacker-sided, but hey, I've been proven wrong on the maps being X-sided before, and it seems like tonight's going to be one of those nights. Maybe, maybe not. Master bedroom and office will be the site of choice on the second floor.
I mean, like, अगर हम देखें वहाँ पे जो strategy बनते आ रही है,
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yeah, Raj. तो there was nobody playing it. एक तो IQ बहुत ही early वो C4 से समाप्त होते वहाँ पे नजर आए थे, वहाँ पे कोई निकलता हुआ नजर आया था from the side of Chipiche. But there was nobody to watch the flank. There was no utility being placed. अगर कोई वेस्टर्न से आता है तो of course वहाँ से कोई आता हुआ नजर नहीं आता. Maybe it was someone from the side of defense जो tricks थर्ड फ्लोर पे खेलते हुए नजर आ रहे थे. वहाँ पे नुक भी ट्रॉफी में एंट्री ले चुके थे. तो yeah, when you had the side control, आपको जब आप इस तरह के पुश के लिए जा रहे हो तो it is very much necessary कि कहीं ना कहीं पीछे से लाइन करने के लिए आ सकता है. तो you gotta be very careful on how you place those air jabs. You can't place air jab as no man is banned, so maybe a gridlock can do the trick. But we finally see a Jackal being played from the side of King of Minion in this particular round. पिछली बार भी हमें Jackal ban देखा. Jackal was banned on the last map. Yeah, Jackal was banned on the last map. But for the time being now, as Thatcher and Nomad has been banned, we can't ban any third operator, only 3 operator. Hey, interesting topic that I like. Do you think, Braxer, we might see 3 attacking operators with getting banned and 3 defense operator getting banned?
A triple ban would actually be interesting, but I feel like the ban timer would also need to be short to make sure that you don't spend too long just banning and not actually in the game. But in the meanwhile, let's pen that for now. I do want to come back to that. No, I do want to come back to that. Just that action's happening, Ashiko Rahman going down on the other side, and there goes King Bob Minion. That's 2 kills for the defense again. HMS starting off on the right foot here. Satyanand, knowing that there might be another one on that trophy window, just holding down the fort here below the stairs of Solarium. That Kaid has been a bit of a menace. There goes Super Mars. The Frostmat Pogmat comes out. Then Sylvexior will claim, or I should say finish off. Chipichip does still get the points for that. And it's all now down to the 2v5. Ishraq and Shadid. Ishraq will fall in, and that will be a kill as easy as you please for Satyanand. Shadid now in a 1v5. This IQ is really caught between a rock and a hard place right now. Repelling on Solarium window. Position probably not given away as yet, but I mean, there's only a matter of time before that happens.
Before that happens, but there's going to be a flawless round coming in from the side of defense, coming in from the side of HMS. कोई भी बॉडी ड्रॉप डाउन नहीं हुए HMS की तरफ से, एक के बाद एक. वहाँ पे आएगा सत्यानंद की तरफ से हमें डबल किल देखने को मिला था, जो अलोन खेलते हुए नजर आए थे उस ट्रॉफी के साइड से. They just didn't want to give out the control of Solarium, कि Solarium के स्ट्रेस से कोई पुश बनता हुआ नजर आए. Eventually वहाँ पे एक बंदा काफी देर से जो IQ थी बहुत देर से रैपलिंग करके बैठे हुए थे. But for the time being now, it's gonna be a 2-0 score line. काफी जल्द हुआ है ये चीज़ अगर हम कंपेयर करें लास्ट मैप को. तो अगर हम इस टाइम पे होते तो 1-1 होता या फिर 2-1 होता. बट 2-0 स्कोर लाइन स्टार्टिंग काफी अच्छी हो चुकी है कहीं ना कहीं. इनिशियल राउंड जो फेवर में जाते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं HMS के. नाउ दे हैव गॉन डिफेंड द साइड ऑफ किचन माइनिंग, बट कहीं ना कहीं स्टिल देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क to be done because this one gets hurt map. TMC जितना चाहेंगे उतना इसको लंबा खींचने की कोशिश करेंगे, जितना हो सके इसको एक्सटेंड करने की कोशिश करेंगे. कहीं ना कहीं उनके तरफ से जो पहला BO3 हारा गया था, फिर वो लूजर ब्रैकेट में गए थे. दूसरे BO3 के लिए अप अगेंस्ट रैंक डीमन, वो भी ओवर टाइम में ही रिजल्ट किया था. So I won't be surprised back then if I see this last time going into the overtime.
10 seconds.
Honestly, I'm with you there. I would not be surprised in that regard either, given that we nearly saw overtime in the last map. But HMS have taken 2 pretty good rounds away already, and now moving into first floor kitchen. This is the side that I was mentioning where Castle does come into play every now and again, but as of recently, Castle has been picked less on this side as teams figure out how to play without him. Satyanand with an early kill. That's going to be Ashika Rahman down, and that looks like a entry denial potentially of that Twitch. More so, Ashika Rahman, who was one of the big players for TMC in the last map, off the board. Salvexer, on the other hand, drops as well. Let's wait a minute. The jump in, it's heard, and Satyanand just waiting in the wings, watching, listening with absolutely wide open ears, like a bat even, ready to swoop on their prey at a moment's notice. That will be 2 attackers down and 2 big ones as well. King Bob Minion to fall. Supermars is the only one to have broken up to 2 kills so far in these first 3 rounds. And meanwhile, if you look at Satyanand going 6-0, but Tricks will go 0-2. Chippy Chip gets the trade. Shadid to fall. And again, it's down to the 2v3. Ishraq and Supermars. Jackal is low on HP. And there's this fuse. The AK could be a big factor here. Chippy Chip will hear the fuse cluster going off. Has to be careful in this side. There you go. Only barely avoiding obliteration by explosion. And now, how do you approach this? Jackal has an idea as to where the Jaeger is, but they have fallen back to the site, which means the round will probably last a little bit longer than either side intended, but it is a good sign, honestly, for the side of TNC.
Cluster charge goes out for Moss, will take down the care on the side of Supermars. Ha. But far down, the HP will shut on the side of Supermars, which he was eventually trying to push on from the back of the stairs. But he is gonna be left out in a 1v2 scenario. उन्होंने kitchen कहा जरूर अभी के लिए उस secondary हाथ भी चार से खोल दिया है. But ये push इस तरफ से kitchen और पे entry लेना, I don't think so that's gonna be very easy, क्योंकि उस हम देख सकते हैं वशमन के doorway पे ही sorry जो कनेक्ट करता हुआ नजर आता है दोनों साइड्स को, वहाँ से भी ऑलरेडी एंगल्स बने हुए हैं. वी ऑल्सो सी वन ऑफ द डिफेंडर्स प्लेइंग इन द गेमिंग हॉलवे. जो शायद से सत्यान उनको नहीं पता है, बट आई गेस डिफ्यूजर कहीं इस तरफ ड्रॉप्ड है. यस, डिफ्यूजर ड्रॉप डाउन हुआ है पहले से ऑलरेडी. सो दे आर जस्ट प्लेइंग टू वेस्ट टाइम एंड प्रोटेक्ट द डिफ्यूजर फॉर द टाइम बीइंग.
30 seconds on the clock, and there's only so much that Ishraq can do. Spots one, but there's the trade. Chippy Chip was there and ready to make the play and save the round. Denying the 1v2 to Ishraq. Unfortunate for the fuse, but it simply could not have worked out given the situation. No diffuser, low on time, and have to scramble. It simply is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And HMS now 3 rounds up, folks. Excuse me. The break we had in the middle of the maps seems like it has really given them a reason to perk up and take note of what's going on. Yeah. Because we are now 3-0 for HMS. TMC. This last round, they looked kind of good, but even then, they are yet to truly show up.
Yeah.
Think they won't try the floor?
Right, so, with all that said, where does that leave us in terms of this particular matchup? Well, 3-0, like we said before. I mean, hey, it's right there. Thank you, Captain Obvious. So, what are any changes from the side of the blue team, from the side of TMC? Do they make any operator changes? Yes, they do. No more note. It seems that Supermars is going to pick up the Flores. Now, that's an interesting pick right there. From the side of the defense, no real changes from what I can see. It is pretty much the same as round 1, basement, wine cellar, and snow wheel garage. But on the other side, Supermars picking the Flores could help them get rid of a defender utility pretty easily, especially without the use of a mute. I do like Melusi in these sorts of situations, and Chippy Chip going 6-1 and going on the Melusi is definitely a good thing. Ashgar Rahman finds Chippy Chip. Okay, I was just singing that player's praises. Ashgar Rahman gets traded as well, as Satyanan takes that. Okay, it's a first floor play situation, and a big one at that. It seems the Melusi going down is not going to be too much of an issue for the defense, because Satyanand is still active on the map, and Ashgar Rahman, the Twitch, has been the one to bite the dust again. So insight utility, whatever destruction of that will happen, is going to be left up to the Flores and the others of the Teros of said operator. And once again, it looks like it's going to be a trench-focused push from the attacking side. They've done this once already, so I think there's full reason for the defenders to suspect this, especially with the breaches now coming out. And now Satyanan, okay, they decide to fall back into the site instead of aggressing above. No, actually, they are still above. Godzilla with a good kill. That's Supermar's down. 4v3. Again, they're losing body. Shadid finds Tricks on the climb up. Ishraq on the other side. Godzilla as well. HP is being shot off of these players left and right. Shadid finds the Jaeger in the corner. Can't quite confirm the kill. Godzilla still alive, still being a problem. Satyanan finds King Bob. And it's all now down to these final two players in this little bit of a precarious situation. Satyanan is thinking about going from the west main stairs as well, which could be a flank. Shots fired, and the Jaeger does get it to the falls. 3v1. It's all a big shock. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Defenders, protect your
Yep.
bombs from
A
being defused
lead
by attackers.
this big, right? Is basically what you're trying to say here. And yeah, I do agree with you. A lead this big is only now being seen on map 3 Chalet, which is interesting, you know, given that the first two maps were all equal games between these two teams. It was 3-3 on the second map of Theme Park, of course, going into the first half, and it was a, what was it, here, 4-2 going into the first half of Villa, going into the second half, excuse me. So that is, you know, it could still be a 4-2, don't get me wrong,
5 seconds
but
to go.
who knows? It could also get much worse for KMC if things aren't held up to the standard that they needed to, that they so desperately needed to.
Camera initiated. Changing mags.
Drone ready.
Reloading. Cover me.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, these open angles are not too conducive for an attacker to just be sitting there, and Tricked finally opens their book, opens their account, I should say. That's going to be Supermars to fall, and the Jackal lone pushing, not exactly the best idea. Ashika Rahman taking so much damage from the mute, but manages to get the kill, and that's a big one as well, as that is Godzilla off the board. The mute no longer in play. But the thing is, they're still Chippy Chip, they're still Satyanan, and of course, Trickster and Sylvexior can get what they need to. Speaking of Chippy Chip, they find King Bob Mini. That's her second kill. Trickst gets a second in the round, and that's Ashika Rahman down. Sylvexior not quite able to flee from the peak they made into the balcony, mezzanine balcony window that is. But, ooh, Claymore kill. Trickst wanted to go for the run out. will be punished for their transgressions. As the revive is done onto Salvexior, they can get themselves back up to full health as well via, of course, the Kona stations. But Chippy Chip falls. A little bit of a messy situation here for both sides as bodies are falling. Shrock sees the defender in there. Salvexior does have a decent chunk of health back now. Pushing into the bathroom, trying to find something. Ashrak taking damage. Shots are fired left and right. Shadid trying to join their teammate to give them some support here that they so desperately need. Both sides are pretty much equals in terms of health as well. So this is going to make for a very close gunfight. One's inside of the closet, and in the meanwhile, the other is pushing out of the bathroom. Is spotted. The ace here. Shots are fired, and Ashrak will get that kill. A little unnecessary there, and that's all up to Salvexior. The plant is happening.
15 seconds left.
Salvexior has to do something about this. Pushes out
Attackers
into the
activating
hallway.
diffuser.
Does a nice lead. Shots are fired, giving away their position there, unfortunately. More shots fired, but they can't seem to quite land the shots. Oh, well done on that kill. That's going to be a Ashrak down. Where is the plant? It is deep inside of the half-wall area, so they have to go chasing this kill right now. Running up to the plate. Big pre-fire, but they will not get the clutch. TMC, by the skin of their teeth, will claw a round out. And it was a good clutch, mind you. 2v4 from the Ace and Brava. Well played to the two of them. They coordinated very, very well on that front. However, from TMC, from HMS's defense, very messy. And again, a little bit of ego peeking showing up again.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Swapping mags. Deploying ATS. Taking
Healing
mags.
station clear.
Jammer ready. ATS ready to go.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
A 5-1 first half would definitely go very hard right now for the side of HMS. TMC, on the other hand, would not like that.
Welcome that.
Interesting ping there from Super Mars as they seem to be predicting a defender being on the trench doorway, asking for a claymore on that door most likely. Shadid also putting their claymore down on the
Attackers have
balcony
located a bomb.
of office. Jones out as well, of course, as is to be expected, giving them as much intel as possible. This intel is very, very necessary, very required here. There you have, I do believe that is the Jaeger's position given away via a good drone, but Chippy Chip will not care. Finds Super Mars, and that's your Jackal gone as well. Huge drop there from the attack side. Super Mars also has been a thorn for the attackers. There's a C4. Ashkar Rahman will fall. And now suddenly it's down to a 3v5.
It's gonna be
Gotta
suddenly down to a
reload.
3-5, and very much, I would say, not looking good for the side of attackers. They're not able to capitalize on what they want to do. But hey, it's gonna be a kill coming in from the side of Zero. Takes on the side of Trix. And now it's gonna be a really, really tight spot for two of these attackers. They're trying to push him from the office balcony, and if you take a look where King Bob Minion is, I guess he is somewhere. Yes, he's gonna be in the library, of course. So yeah, there's gonna be also a defender. Selexia is gonna be, who is actually playing in with the Thunderbird, trying to peek in. So yeah, if they want to get into the side, either they might want to try a piano push, which I don't think so is very much possible with all of these ADSs. Satyanan behind a black shield, so I don't think so. Until this open up that wall, something different's gonna happen.
Yeah, the breach needs to be taken care of. And I don't think it will be. There goes another player. That's got Zilla to find Shadid. And it's all now up to
Attackers have
King
dropped
Bob
the
and
bomb
Ashrak, who can't get the breach done by themselves, unfortunately. Even with Zero's Argus cameras, that can destroy a utility in a single shot. The thing is, they're very loud, and even getting them on the other side of the wall requires a lot of work here. Godzilla could have gotten that kill, but decided not to over-aggress, playing the range to their advantage. Really flirting with death here. The shots are fired, and there you go. He did find Chippy Chip, but there was only so much you could do with a mute right on that door with a shotgun pointed at your face. HMS clean first half for the most part. They will push a 5-1 advantage going into the second half.
That too on a third map. I thought first two maps can be one-sided. Something like this we might see on the 5-1 or something like 4-1 onto the map of Villa, or I did expect it on Theme Park as well. I feel like console lobby में इन दोनों teams के लिए Villa इतना ज़्यादा rank में आता है, इतना ज़्यादा खेला जाता है, तो वहाँ पे domination it's quite obvious. But on a map like Shelly, TMC is not able to capitalize on what they want to do, what they want to hold. Very, very not obvious what's going to be the result. But one thing for sure, ये 6-1 मुझे होता हुआ नजर आ रहा है. यहाँ से 7-1 कितना जल्दी हो पाएगा नहीं ब्लैक जैक, I can't say, but I'm pretty much sure ये अटैक जिस तरह से मोमेंटम कैरिड अवे हो चुका है HMS के साइड से, इतने सारे डिफेंसिव राउंड जिनके तरफ जाते हुए नजर आए हैं, I'm pretty much sure ये 6-1 तो डेफिनेटली हो जाएगा.
10 seconds left.
6-1 could happen, could not. We'll have to wait and
5
see for
seconds
now.
to go.
As of course it is the second half, folks. 5-1 being the scoreline, which means
Attackers'
that
objective is
TMC
to
are now on
locate
the
a bomb and
defense
defuse it.
and HMS are now on the attack. On the side of the attack, we're looking at a pretty similar lineup from HMS to what we had from TMC's side. And for TMC, there are a couple of notable differences. Ashkar Rahman opting to play the Vigil this time around, while King Bob goes on to play and pick up the Doc. Ashikar could have been spotted. There was, I think, a drone being sent into Big Garage. If not, I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't really throw a drone into Big Garage just yet, unless you were specifically anticipating a roamer. It doesn't even have to be visual, but a roamer in this part of the map. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So for a quiet round, as neither side has lost a body just yet, as they're just, the attackers that is, are just guaranteeing entry and trying to, take map control horizontally on the second floor, as you normally do.
Yeah, and it's going to be very much the same thing as how they have, उन्होंने इतने तरीके से I'm really sorry, इतने अच्छे तरीके से जो डिफेंसिव अपने राउंड निकाले हैं, वो इतने मुझे लगता है कि इतना आसानी से वो अपने अटैक इन और गिव अवे कर देंगे टुवर्ड्स द अदर साइड. बट फॉर अ टाइम Oswell gets spotted. काफी देर से बेसमेंट पे खेलते हुए नजर आते हैं. Ashkur Rahman in the meanwhile takes a quick rotation towards the side of Solarium, come back to the side to help his teammates. The push is being already made. It's gonna be a 5. This is something I know I called 6-1, but overalls में कहीं ना कहीं उतना ज़्यादा सही नज़र नहीं आ रहा है अभी के लिए TMC पे. We might see another kill happening in. Oh, cover. Ashkur Rahman may find one, but Shahid will ship. Team Army also coming in to try to help with the stim pistol over there. That's 2 gain. But for the time being, as you see the attack, Astral Vixen coming in with a really, really good shot. Might find another one as 3 fires going on. Godzilla trying to push up. Has the intel, that's probably gonna be there. Trish is going for the plant, and Tick Bomb Minion will also get eventually caught out. Look what a beautiful attack is done from the side of HMS. They just waited it out where the defensive operators are, where all the players are playing in from. Are there any guys in the basement? Are there any guys in the library? And they just went on with it.
Well played. Well played from HMS. They applied pressure exactly where they needed to, and it worked wonders.
Yeah.
See what happens when you use all of your resources as a team, folks? I'm just kidding, of course. I fully expect this from these players on a more consistent level, but it is nice to see it nonetheless. 6-1. Bullet, I gotta ask, did you take
Attackers
some
need
of
to
Baba
locate
Gusta's
and
prediction
defuse as
powers
many
or something?
bombs as
What's
they
going on
can.
here?
I mean, like, if you remember, before I joined the TC deck with you, if you remember, back in the last year, I used to call these predictions. Most of the times the predictions were right. So, not reinforcing wall. Bullets.
Well, maybe so. But for now,
You remember, of course, the Monkey Hunter
Keep
store winning on a 2-1 score line. I believe
Yes,
it was a
yes.
5 seconds left before
it
the,
was.
the first, no, it was a BO5, 3-1, sorry, 3-1, the first Pro Series
Attackers
It
are
round.
was
moving
the
to
first
defuse the
Prestige
bomb.
final, right? Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
BO5. Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
BO5, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, so you know, hats off to you for that one. And yeah, I guess you and Baba both share the same level of power because he also called that, mind you, he called it 3-1 for that same final, if I recall correctly. So yeah, don't mention that to Baba though; he'll go red in the ears out of I don't know, embarrassment. I guess I don't know why he's embarrassed about that. Anyway. Site is basement snowmobile garage. Of course, it is a match and series point, and Satyananda's just found the first kill. It is Super Mario Fall. The alibi goes down. Roamers are not being able to fulfill their job here. They are getting outplayed. And in the meanwhile, there is the shield, the OSA shield, sitting out front outside the breach. Nobody's going to contest that, it seems, just yet with any sort of impacts or explosive utility. There are C4s plenty of, and there's one that goes off, but to no avail. Impacts come out again. Chip finding Ashkar Rahman, and a big push out. Ishraq getting tricked. That's a good kill as well. I'm not sure why you would go running out the door like that, Ishraq. They get punished for that as Godzilla takes that kill. It is now down to a 2v4. The last hope for the defense. Both of these defenders have taken a ton of damage. Mozzie and Bandit, Shadid and Hitbob Minion, they need to pull a rabbit out of this hat if they want to be able to win this. But Shadid is on the floor. It's all down to King Bob. The Mozzie, the last one standing, will fall. Selvexior with the 2 kills to finish off the round. And folks, we have your winner for the Rainbow Six South Asia Console Community Cup. It is going to be HMS who take the prize, all the credits, and the bragging rights home.
I mean, like, more than coming back to the Kasha stream with the SS being taken, I can already see the celebrations as they have joined the meet call. But coming back to the Kasha screens for now, what a game from these guys.
Oh yeah.
What a game from these guys. What a overall plays coming in from these folks. But more than our 6 credits, more than anything, it was about the bragging rights. I can assure you.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely about the bragging rights. Oof.
Well, that of course concludes the match, and I gotta say, a couple of good rounds we saw in there. HMS really showing up for Chalet. I'm honestly surprised they didn't pick Chalet if that is the case, because they really showed dominance on this map. And going forward, maybe potential future seasons or whatever have you, whatever console tournament comes next, if HMS do come back as a full team, I do hope to see them, playing with the same level or even a higher level of prowess and mastery that they have shown here. Again, don't get me wrong. A console I know is particularly difficult because you have to get used to the whole controller configuration and movement with the stick. Like this movement is with your left thumb or whatever you use for your left stick, and then the right stick is camera, but then ADS and there are also different buttons. It's a whole thing. Believe me, I have tried playing controller Rainbow Six. It is for me, it's a nightmare because I'm a PC player, right?
Exactly.
But I know it's difficult, and that's why I am actually quite impressed with the level of skill we've seen displayed so far, and the potential that's at play here that could be harnessed as these teams continue to grow, with more and more coming for the esports scene. And for that, of course, huge shout outs to Bullet for this console community cup. This man has worked tirelessly for so long to get something like this off the ground. Finally, he got permission, and now, of course, we're looking for even more, folks. I'll tell you what, I'm excited for more console siege as well. The PC scene, of course, will be winding down for a little bit after the Copenhagen Major, because there's a big off season for a few months, and in that time, we can see some regional PC tournaments, regional console tournaments as well. Who really knows? I certainly don't, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. As we close off for the night, Bullet, any final thoughts about this community cup?
Just a matter of fact that I just want the console community to grow rather than just playing rank, boosting themselves here and there. I might use the word boosting themselves because I know a lot of third party these sort of which doesn't go as a by the terms and conditions of the game, do happen in the console region. I'm not gonna mince my words. So I just want this particular mindset to grow. I want the players जितने भी हैं उनको एक platform मिल पाए to showcase their talent. I know my channel is not enough for it. I know Ubisoft might try out something, but one thing I can assure you, man, being a console guy who loves to enjoy Siege, who has got so much support from Ubisoft since last 2 years, so I will just try to do whatever I can in my power. But yes, there are some, permission. There are some sponsors to be made.
Like a bunch of back-end administrative
work.
things.
So,
Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the thing, man. As a caster, Blackjack, you and me always get known by the community. Players do get known by the community. The people who are doing the back-end job, even for the community cup back in the last 2022 season, or I can call entirely from the side of esports club, because if there's someone for the PC scene in India, it's going to be the side of the esports club to always push for the competitive Siege for the circuit. So a huge shout out goes out to Chris Budd for this moderation. A huge shout out goes to Rex for being the tournament admin for this entire community cup. A huge shout out goes out to you, buddy, for always being there to cast all these lovely games with me all together, because I know मुझे पता मैंने बहुत गंदी casting करी है. इतने ज़्यादा screens manage करते हुए मेरी English हिंदी बहुत खराब हो गई और मैं इस चीज़ से पीछे नहीं हटने वाला. But एक जो चीज़ अच्छी हुई, yes, we got the Ubisoft approval. Ubisoft has clearly shown me the support. If you want to go for it, hey, go for it. हम अपनी तरफ से जितना support कर सकते हैं हम करेंगे. But for now, folks, I'll take the final goodbye. And yes, I'll be back with the season 2 as soon as possible. Might not be in this May month, might be in the next month, but I can assure you it's gonna be big, and I'm gonna give 100% to it. Tab tak ke liye, as always, spread the happiness. It's gonna be Bullet signing out. It's gonna be Blackjack, and yes, a huge shout out goes out to Chris Budd, a huge shout out goes out to Rex, a huge shout out goes out to Stag from the side of the esports club, a huge shout out goes out to Zane also for helping me initially to get things all over going around. So thank you so much, guys. Tab tak ke liye, as always, spread the happiness. Keep doing wall bangs, keep playing Siege, and make sure to follow Ubisoft Rainbow Six Siege South Asia Esports on Twitter, and also make sure to follow Ubisoft India on the Instagram. Tab tak ke liye, as always, I'm gonna take goodbye. I'm gonna have my dinner, and Blackjack, you will also have a fun time, mate. Kal hum log khelte hain. But for the time being, peace out, boys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.